Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randall Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts. We are live, son. That is Gary Lamb over there, son. He's in a foul mood.
I've just been in a mood lately. It's all good. It's all good.
Old Gary's been busy, sons.
Been
He's
busy,
a very busy
just-
man. Is this peak season for you?
It's the calm before the storm. I'm 2 weeks away from peak season, and then it's just balls to the wall. Let me share this. Whoops. And so it is what it is, man. And just dealing with losers, non-champions, finding out people in my close vicinity don't have what it takes to be fucking champions, and I'm just tired of carrying them. And so big changes in the Lamb house lately, big changes in my network, big changes in who I roll with, big change in who I trust, and fuck them all has been my philosophy.
Well, it's very interesting that this is your mood because it fits perfectly. That last week or last month when we did the last show, I was going to get into this, which was identifying snakes within your
Your
circle.
I have identified some in the last 8 or 9 days.
Well, I'm going to cheers to that. And here's the big cheers. Let me get this down. I'll tell you a lot. Uncle Randy's been at football practice, son. Been working those youngsters, sons. Champions, all right? I don't give a shit how young they are. We're going to win. By the way, we won 26-0 Saturday.
That's all that matters.
I think they might have gained 2 or 3 yards on offense.
That's
Whatever.
good.
That's what we
Why'd
do.
you let them get 2 or 3?
I ran them to death today for it.
That's good.
I said no yards.
Right.
You gave up 2, run. Run till I'm tired. The old school way. But congratulations are in orders for us, sir. I know my wife was telling you, and I kicked her out so she wouldn't finish, so she wouldn't steal my thunder.
Yes.
But we put out episode 1
Yes.
on audio. That is already our most downloaded episode because it's on the Married AF until tonight. Once we have 3 in the can, which tonight is 3, we'll have our own.
We'll go live.
Write this
Own
down
feed.
So it won't, but even on a show as established as ours, it's been going for 3 years.
Yeah.
Episode 1, write this down, most downloaded show. Been out for 3 weeks.
The people want more.
It's been out. Now, what you'll be surprised by is the demographic because I get the state by state breakdown. I'm going to give you 2 guesses. What do you think our biggest states of people that downloaded our episodes?
I think Georgia would be number 1, obviously.
You would think that.
It's not.
No.
Well, I know in the Married AF there's a big California following
There's
for
a big California.
but I can't imagine there's California.
It's a southern state.
It's a southern state. Alabama?
Tennessee. Why?
I've got friends in
I don't know.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I was thinking it had to be a Gary Lamb effect.
I've got some buddies there. The wrestling community's big in Tennessee. Maybe that's a spillover.
Yeah,
I don't
you do
really
got
know.
some Chattanooga people.
Chattanooga, Gunner, Miller,
Yes.
Josh Massey. Those folks are Tennessee crew, the Lynch Mob.
I mean, it must be.
So that's the only thing I can think of. So Tennessee's more than Georgia?
Barely.
That blows
1 and 2.
That blows my mind.
It blew my mind.
I thought Georgia would be number 1 with 50% of
No,
the.
it's close. But with us, California is our biggest, and then Georgia's number 2. So I knew it'd be close with Georgia, but the Tennessee thing threw me for a loop because it's not even. It's a good number of people downloaded it in the state of Tennessee, which has a terrible football team.
Horrible.
No one likes the Volunteers.
No one. Even when they're
Fire
good, no
Marshal
one
Bill
likes them.
likes them.
Yes.
Of course.
And he has no taste.
No. Yeah. King of
He's
good
the king of
popsicles.
good popsicles.
That's a good thing.
The problem is I'm a big believer in every person gets to be king of one aspect of their life. He chose popsicles.
He did. And
So therefore, he's not a winner when it comes to football.
Here's the worst thing, though. I'm really the king of pops. I've got the crown right there.
You've got the crown.
I let him borrow it.
Right.
Though. It's, I care about Fire Marshal Bill.
You're invested in him. You want to see him good. You want to see the kids eat, the wife happy.
Yeah.
He knew you had to have that blessing to pass that mantle on. And because you can't carry too many.
No,
I mean, you got the throne.
Absolutely.
You got the chains, the crown.
There's so much
how
jewelry.
How about the sash that is a crock of shit? It should have been number 1.
Dude, first off, look at the thread count on this.
It's
thing.
quality.
I mean,
it's quality. That's quality duct tape. Quality Sharpie. I can tell
is.
they didn't. It's not an off-brand Sharpie.
Decent penmanship.
Good sticker. Looks like the sticker. You're not going to peel that sticker off. It's quality. Nice house sticker.
So good
job.
Did you hear about how that went down though?
I only saw the video and was under the impression you won. So which again makes you a true champion.
Yes.
That you came in third. Yet the masses think you won.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's all intentional. Because I did win. Listen, write it down, sons. Got robbed. It's okay. The two local guys.
Right.
I was not entered into it. I
Right.
didn't plan to do it. We went for Fire Marshal Bill's birthday thing, and they were all going to enter it.
Yeah.
We showed up late. They signed me up, and I was like, nah, they didn't really sign me up. They call Uncle Randy, sons. So what am I going to do? Dude, you going to be a pussy, not be a champion? And you just say, no, and not me. I'm like,
No, that's not what I do. I'll step up, unprepared, ad-lib this.
Dude,
no routine planned. Boom, and still took a sash.
I clenched my ass so tight when they were like, show us the buttocks. So I'll pull down the jeans, show the apple bottom, sons. Just let the apple bottom.
I heard women literally fainted.
Well, here's the deal. Here's what happened.
Was that the wife knocking them out? There's a little blurry the way the story's been related. I'm not sure.
Very close to shanking a lady, and we're mutual friends with this lady.
Yeah,
because she was just a little bit.
She might have had too much to drink.
Yeah, and nothing crossed the line. But my wife is going to see.
Right,
and I'm telling you, my wife. I think your wife's the same way. I've pulled my wife out of women's hair before.
Yes,
she goes ballistic. You're much more likely to get violence brought upon you from her than me.
I've pulled my wife out of men's hair throwing punches. So, yes.
Good.
So
that's true championship.
Yes.
But so I pull up, and my first move is always the Uncle Randy champion move is the old pull the sweat and throw it at the judges.
It. Good move.
So I hit the first judge, and I was pretty sweaty because I've been moving, sons, gyrating. That's what I do, sons. So I hit the first judge, and she hated it. So I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, she was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Then I hit judge 2. Her nipples come out.
Right. You saw them come through the sweater.
She's like, throw it in my mouth. And I'm like, okay, that one's too far.
Right.
But I'm
but
1 for 2.
I'm winning.
1 for 2. Third one, boom. She's like, she's good. Not as much as 2.
Right.
But she loved it. Then 4 loved it too. I think she grabbed her ass and licked her fingers.
Right.
And she was good. So
normal reaction.
3 for 4.
3 for 4. I'm surprised there was 4 judges. I always thought you had to have an odd number of judges. I think that is where the confusion came. That's where the confusion came on the count. Had there been 3 judges, would have been slam dunk.
And so I get done and I'm like, cool. I'm good. I'm not going to make it to the finals because the 2 guys that were in the finals had get ups. They dressed for it. They had props and shit built in. Like, I didn't even know.
No life. Basically sit at home all week planning what they were going to do.
Probably all year.
Their moment of glory was just a passing moment for you. You know what I mean? I'm here. Champions win. I don't lose. Boom, I'm on stage. I'm throwing sweat. Nipples are getting hard. Asses are getting clenched. Boom, I'm walking away with a sash.
Yeah. And so they crowned me third. We immediately bounced and looked back at the video and just, I've had a couple offers.
Right.
I'm not dancing, though, professionally anymore.
Right.
I'm out of that.
You're retired.
Too old, I like to go out, win shit, retire.
Right.
Like popsicles.
Right.
Boom, greatest ever, done. Move on to the next thing. But congratulations to us on the show. I'm going to do another shot.
Podcast is out of control. The masses were asking, where have we been? Last week was crazy. It was insane. We couldn't make it work out.
We got a lot of shit going on. We're busy guys.
Too much going on.
I've got a million things. And one thing we've got to talk about off air is I've got the wiffle ball tournament coming up in a month.
Yes.
And we got to figure out if we're going to put a Gary Lamb team in it.
Whoa.
Which would be the Bubba. He played last year. He's great.
He's a ringer.
Bubba or Gary Lamb. Now you've got to be in. It was Rick Cope's team last year, but now we got.
I bring in the ringers.
We know.
That's what I do.
I just don't want you to bring in professional wrestlers that are going to just dominate us and beat us up. Not us as in me, because I'll whip all their asses.
Right.
But everyone else. I'm worried about their physical capabilities. All right. I can throw these things. You know that. You saw me throwing the people's elbow.
I did.
On the pole.
I did.
I'm ready whenever.
They're ready. Wiffle ball tournament, raising money for what this year?
I think we're going to do. I think we're going to split it. We're going to do half of it for St. Jude directly.
Yes.
And then the other half to some kind of food pantry here in the community. Rick's actually been talking to me about that you guys do a shelter and stuff at Action, and I want to do something to get some money for that.
Yeah, we run one of the biggest food pantries in the county, but I think it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah,
let's be a blessing to someone else.
But we do hit the food, like we've done Must Ministries.
Right.
We did Cherokee County Homeless Veterans the other day. We did a big food drive for them. We dropped them a ton of shit. And Jim there is fantastic. Yeah. What he does, dude, they give homeless vets a car
they do a
for
great
$1.
job. They do a great job.
And they only work on donations.
Yes.
And meeting him in person, which is what I like to do when I work with it, so I just get to feel like this isn't a fuckery or anything.
Right.
Because sadly, when you deal with enough
there's
people,
a lot of
you
fuckery.
learn
There's a lot of fuckery that
you
goes
think your
on.
money's going to some charities.
Yes.
And it's not. But there are good ones. And Cherokee County Homeless Veterans Program is good. Jim is like a West Point guy.
Yes. He's legit.
So something like that. We're not 100% sure, but the wiffle ball tournament will be huge. Last year we raised like $4,000. I know we'll double it this year with more involvement. And Bubba hasn't stopped talking about it.
Yes,
because he wanted to win it all. Him and Slim last year were raking. I'm
gonna have to put a ringer team together. I'm sure Bubba will be part of that team.
Got to be one woman.
Yeah, that's fine.
You got to have one.
That's fine. I've got a wife who will out wiffle ball anybody.
She's stronger than most men.
Yes,
she's got more muscles than most men. Her legs are bigger than my whole body.
So ringers there. I'm just going to talk shit the whole time.
Yeah, I'm going to have you on the mic.
Well, there we go.
As much as possible. That is your forte.
We're going to be good. It's going to be awesome. Going to be a lot of alcohol consumed. I need to talk to Spencer, see if I can get some kegs donated.
Oh God, that would be so good. We can charge for the beer. All goes to charity.
We cannot charge for the beer, but what we can do though is we can sell raffle tickets, and a raffle ticket happens to get you a beer.
Or if you want to make a donation,
I have a father-in-law who knows all the ways around those rules.
Absolutely.
So. Right.
We'll get around it. And we'll have pizzas that we're highly overcharging for the slices that come from, like, I say Little Caesars, thin crust. That's just me.
Let's stop for a minute because that was the last segment of the last podcast.
Yeah.
Was the thin crust at Little Caesars, $6 pizza. Did it deliver? Did it not deliver?
I put it out on Facebook. Uncle Randy's a man of his word. People are learning it, right? Like I say, I'm going to try that. I do. I went and tried it. It's a game changer, pound for pound, best pizza there is in the world.
Yes,
pound for pound,
$6.
dollar for dollar, ounce for ounce. There's not a better pizza on planet Earth. I'll fight you to the death on it.
I went and got a pizza the other day from a new pizza place in town. Outstanding. It was great. But the reality is I dropped $20 for that pizza. So was it $20? Was it $14 better than the Little Caesars? It wasn't.
No. It's hard to be a lot better than that.
Yes.
It is just, and I never knew. And I called ahead. We were like 3 minutes from there. I was like, I want a thin crust. And I was just expecting to be like, we don't do that. And just be like, Gary, fuck me. and I was like, I want to think. She's like, okay. Didn't even ask my name.
Right.
And I pull up and I'm like,
did you get the slices or did they squared it?
No. No, they did square.
Yeah, I don't like. I got to get it sliced.
It does make it. So you asked for that?
I do. I want it sliced normal.
I need to do that.
Because to me,
my fault.
So this is where you know you marry the right woman.
Yeah.
So to me, the best bite of the pizza is the tip.
Mm-hmm.
And so Christine would literally let me eat the tip on every slice if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's love. Because I don't really care once it gets down into the nitty gritty, but I want that first, the flop.
Yeah, that's my first bite. My second is a bite of the crust.
Oh, so you go
1-2.
So you do Portnoy?
Yeah,
on the one
ass mouth.
Yes.
Do
you watch
immediately?
Do you watch Portnoy as he eats the pizza?
Absolutely.
He always goes ass mouth.
Yeah, and I don't. Has he reviewed the thin crust from Little Caesars?
He has reviewed Little Caesars,
but not.
I don't know that. We need to get on him about that.
Yeah, talk to El Presidente.
El Presidente needs to step it up.
And if he fucking lies and doesn't score it better than some of the dog shit I've seen him eat,
yes, because he has ate some dog shit pizza.
He's made so much money now, and he's so big, and he is a nice guy that a lot of his scores now are horse shit.
Yes.
Because they work him,
right?
They make him feel bad.
Yes.
They're like, "Oh, it's okay," but our whole community is riding on my success.
Our whole community is riding on it. Hey, we didn't know you were coming. Can we remake the pizza for you?
Hey, it's fine. And they burn it so black, which they act like that's normal.
Yeah,
but
so
he likes it extra well.
So have you had the pizza prints yet?
I have not had
on
the
140. So we had it Friday night for the first time. Tell you what I like about it. Family, husband and wife from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Came here. They've opened up. I'm reading between the lines. I think they escaped the liberalism and the shutdowns of Brooklyn.
Okay. Good.
working out of the Chevron gas station, have turned the whole corner, and people are literally lined up 10 deep to get this pizza when I got there the other night. It was insane.
Which Chevron?
Over there by J. Michael's, over there on 140.
Yes.
Yes, and so they're moving into that little shopping center, but until they get the money to redo it, they're in the Chevron right there in the front.
Which adds a layer of, in my mind, grittiness.
So it was great. So pizza by the slice, I mean, just the big it's authentic New York pizza. Got that little bit of crunch in the crust. It was solid, but again, it was $20 as opposed to $6 at Little Caesars thin crust.
Yeah,
I'm going Little Caesars all the time.
I don't think it can be, honestly. And it took me one bite. When I took the first bite, I was like, "Wow,
yeah."
I can't believe I fucked, because I stopped liking Little Caesars because I was getting the hand tossed all the time, and it's
okay,
mid grade. I mean,
it's $5.
It's serviceable for $5. It does what it's supposed to, but it doesn't. I wouldn't pay $12 for the $5 hand tossed, but I would pay $12
for the thin
all day long.
It's the best thin crust pizza of all the chains.
With not even fucking close. Uncle Randy hates Domino's. All right, Domino's can just drop off the planet Earth.
Papa John's thin crust is not my favorite. The crust is almost like saltine crackers.
Yeah, I'm a Pizza Hut thin crust.
I'm a Pizza Hut thin crust guy too.
Yeah.
I grew up on the thin crust.
I worked at Pizza Hut. It's my first job.
There you go.
I was a dishwasher, and back when they had the big monster sheet pies that you could buy. I would never wash those motherfuckers. They'd hand it to me scalding hot, and I'd put it right back on the rack. It's an Uncle Randy special.
It had burned all the germs off. My first job was Dairy Queen.
Ooh. Dairy Queen. I don't want to hear any bad stories about my McFlurries.
There was no bad stories. It was great. It was
I love
good.
Some Dairy Queen.
So, loved it.
All right. So, one thing that's, we've had a couple of people that have hit me up, actually in the last couple of days, I guess it was because they saw we had episodes coming up, wanting us to come on and do another live show at their place.
Yes.
You know the guys. We'll talk about it off the air. But they want us to really talk about it. They say they wouldn't
censor us.
Anyway.
They wouldn't mess.
They've had a few episodes to see, so maybe we'll talk about it off the air. But those are
bring it.
I feel like that's going to happen eventually. We said that, and I mean we'll sell their fucking place out.
That's exactly live entertainment, strippers, hookers,
show up.
People.
You just say Uncle Randy, Gary Lamb. They'll be like drinks. They'll sell more booze.
Right.
I mean, if you're sure that's what you want, I mean, we'll talk about it. So it's a very big possibility. All right, so first thing I want to talk about, boom, off the top. You already hit it on your socials, which upset me, but it's because you're a smart man. CM Punk.
Back.
When you said it, I was saving that. I wanted to talk, which is good. But no, we need to talk about it anyway. I thought it's one of the best comeback promos I've ever seen. And AEW, I think, just pulled their wiener out.
Yes.
And said, WWE,
on the table.
Lick it right here. Vincey Poo. We got CM here in Chicago. Yeah. Lick on the tip.
How about that pop from that crowd?
Incredible.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, as I said on my thing, I was out of wrestling during CM's era. I was an Attitude Era guy, but I was aware of who he was. I was aware of him walking away, giving Vince the middle finger.
The pipe bomb.
And pipe bomb, not coming back. And to come back, and man, when he made that quote, I'm going to butcher. I've already posted the quote twice.
Oh, it's so good.
When he said, how was I ever going to heal physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally by staying at the place I got sick to begin with? Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's so good, man.
Yeah.
We want healing, but we stay in the same shit. We wallow in the fuck. We wallow in the shit. We wallow in the smell. And a lot of that had to do with some of the changes I've made with the people in my network lately. It's like I'm not going to the next level, and I begin to evaluate the places I go to and the people that I go with. And I don't want them to always be bringing – I want to be able to pour into people too, but they've got to be bringing something to the table. If all I'm doing is pouring, so people that they've seen a lot from me, they're cut, they're gone. You won't see mention of them.
And that's a real – I thought it was very poignant. People – miss it if they don't really look between the lines and know his story, right? Because he had a big lawsuit with WWE. Yes. They fucking slandered him.
Right.
They destroyed him in wrestling.
Because because at that time they were the monopoly. They said, you leave us, you can't do anything. Right.
Yeah. You ain't going to do shit.
And he stuck to his guns. Everybody makes fun because he lost his 2 MMA fights. Guess what? The motherfucker went out and fought.
Balls and do it.
Right.
I told everybody to suck my ass on that. That pissed me off. I got more respect for him for doing it.
Right.
Because guess what? No one else is going to do it. These guys talk all this shit.
He wasn't worried about the gimmick, the reputation.
No, he went and got his ass whooped and was like, guess what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to sign up for a second one. That is fucking incredible. Right. So it made me love seeing more. And I was an Attitude Era guy. And then my oldest, when he was 9, and that was CM Punk.
Oh, that was Air.
And so we went and saw him.
There was none bigger at the time.
No, and he loved some CM Punk, dude. And so that got me back into it. So the only reason I was in that era was for my son. And I always thought he was very undervalued. He's one of the best on the mic. He's very good. He's
amazing.
He's a smaller guy. He looks like an everyman.
People just connect with him. I don't know what it is. They connect with him.
And he's straight edge. He doesn't drink.
Yes, doesn't drink, don't fuck.
He's got a Pepsi tattoo on his arm and shit. Like, it's just ridiculous. But he can work. Right. You know? And he fucking...
7 years back.
And it was like he never left. It was up there. I saw somebody made a good point on your post. They were like, it was almost Stone Coldish or Attitude. Yeah. It was.
It was the pop.
And this is AEW. That tells you how far they've come.
Yeah.
And people I see articles all the time. Vince isn't worried about AEW.
Right.
Bullshit.
He's worried.
They wouldn't be making those articles if he was not worried.
He's worried.
They're in the shit tank.
Yeah.
People want to wrestle at AEW because there's better wrestlers.
Now, they're making the most money that they've ever had. So they've learned how to turn that into a money-making machine. I don't know that Vince has to, he doesn't have to worry.
China. He doesn't care about America.
Yeah. They're going over to Dubai, all these foreign countries and fighting and getting huge paydays.
Their merch sells in China. Like John Cena, you saw him swallow his balls and apologize to China.
Yes.
That tells you all you got to know.
Exactly.
Vince told him, you better go eat a dick.
Right.
That's China.
Yes.
They buy all of our shit.
Yes.
John Cena, however you say that in fucking Chinese.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I think they got a real problem on their hands with AEW because it is grassroots. It's wrestling. Yeah. People love. They're not the huge. They don't have just all huge roided up guys. They've got just good talent.
It's good. The storylines are good. Everything's good. And the CM Punk thing was massive.
That adds a whole new set of tits.
Massive. It was massive. I mean, the chant form the minute the show started before he even came out was insane. They knew he was there.
So he's had their pay-per-view, whenever it is in a week or whatever. It'll be huge.
It'll be massive.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yes.
I haven't bought a wrestling pay-per-view since Nam.
Right.
And I'm gonna buy it to see CM Punk back in the ring. After all this fucking shit talk, you got to. But so to his quote, like you were saying, like how can you expect to heal if you can't leave the place where you were hurt or however
the place you got that made you sick.
Yeah. That is so poignant and so relevant, and we all do it. Everybody does it.
We do it in our marriages.
You get comfortable.
We do it in our jobs. We do it with our friends. We do it with our purpose. We're at the place that's making us sick, but we get comfortable in our discomfort.
Yeah.
And so as bad as this is, I know how bad this is.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad that is. And so that's one thing you have to respect about Punk. He recognized that it was unhealthy for him, threw his middle finger up in the air, and for the most part has done nothing in the last 7 years, especially anything that made him real money compared to what he was making in WWE.
He was not. He had nothing to really capitalize on. Yeah, because I mean he got beat both times in MMA.
Yeah,
but
but he cared enough about his health that he was willing to make the changes. And I think that first step for so many people is making that change and not wallowing in the discomfort or wallowing in the issue or wallowing in your hurt, your habit, your hang-up, whatever it is. And that's what we do so much because we don't have the testicular fortitude. We're not big enough winners to realize we've got to protect ourselves and we've got to take care of ourselves if we're going to be productive. And he did that exactly.
Well, yeah, and you get accustomed to carrying people sometimes, right? Like it kind of becomes your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. That's the thing that most humans will do because we don't want to hurt people, but there does come a time, and I've talked about it, and you've actually hit on it tonight, where you have to reevaluate the seats at the table. And, and it's an unfortunate thing, but if you want to win, you have to do that from time to time. And guess what? People lose their fucking seat.
They lose their seat.
Lose it.
And that's life, and you struggle with it, and it hurts sometimes. But at the end of the day, if you want, and sometimes the best thing you can do for those people is let them lose their seat.
Sure.
Because maybe them losing their seat is the wake-up call.
Sure.
So
to make them reevaluate and realize, I got to bring some shit to the table. If I just burned my opportunity with Gary Lamb or Uncle Randy or anybody, fuck. How did I do that?
I had a one-on-one meeting this week with someone who I feel did me wrong. He was so afraid we met in a public place. And I was no holds barred with this person. But it was weird. It wasn't from a place of malice.
Yeah.
I let him know everything of why he was a nothing, why he was a loser, why he had failed at everything in life. And face-to-face told him that. And was actually, when the meeting was over, felt a little bit guilty. I thought, man, was I too hard?
Yeah.
Called a buddy of mine who's kind of a mentor. I said, man, let me tell you what I just did. And he said, you might have just saved that guy's life.
You could have.
He said, it's probably the first time anyone's ever looked in his face. And he goes, you said it because you were angry. Mm-hmm. You said it because you were pissed. He goes, but I know you too. He goes, you wanted him to know, here's your problem. You're still X, Y, and Z. You're still A, B, C. You're still 1, 2, 3. But you think you're not. You're still the same little insecure fuck that you were when a kid. Yeah. But you think because you're grown up now and had a little bit of micro success that you're not that person. No, you're the same person you've always been. Yeah. And I hope, as much as I would love to put a bullet between this guy's eyes, I hope that was the turning point for him. And hearing truth, because we don't speak truth to people because we don't want to hurt their feelings.
Absolutely. Well, we're big pussies a lot of times, and that's one thing that I've kind of prided myself on always as an older person. I kind of learned this too as life kind of kicks you in the balls. That life's always better if you just rip the fucking Band-Aid off. There's plenty of times where I stayed in shit I shouldn't have too long, and you learn that. That's kind of life experience. But so yes, you could be doing that guy the best favor of his life. If he's willing to look. If he's willing to
listen. And if he's not, there will come a day in his life where he hits rock bottom.
Oh, yes.
And he will remember that conversation. He'll look himself in the mirror and be like, I could have learned this lesson 5 years ago. I could have learned this lesson 10 years ago when Gary told me exactly what was going to happen if I didn't make changes. And so I've often wondered how my life would be different if someone had cared. And I'm happy with my life, so don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I'm 45, 33. So 12 years ago, had someone gotten in my face before I was out of control and said, motherfucker, you're out of control.
You're about,
Now, it is what it is, and I don't care.
Absolutely.
But the difference, though, between me and most people, you and most people, is I'll take the fall. I'm going to pick myself back up.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid of failure.
Yeah.
I don't like it, and I don't want to do it. It sucks. I'd much rather succeed. But
well, I had a friend, one of my close friends. He's a mutual friend of ours, and I had to. He came to me recently. I'm not going to say any names because this is a serious, legitimate thing. And he just came to me asking if he was overreacting about a situation, And most friends I know, if I put myself in his place, and I know a lot of my friends, had I asked them the same thing, they'd be like, "Nah, man, you handled it. You don't worry about it. Fuck that." And I was like, yeah, you're being too emotional about a decision.
Right.
Especially a business decision.
Right.
That it was one where it's not worth the squeeze.
Right.
And that's a real thing that people don't really, you've got to weigh the squeeze, right? The juice has got to be worth the squeeze in business. And now when it comes to a personal issue, just for character development, it's not good to let every single time somebody disagrees with you, that it sends you ballistic.
No.
And
if you can't deal with people disagreeing,
well, that's how we're segueing into today. We talked about the first one was starting over.
Yeah.
Today is going to be, because we talk about it all the time, and I can't believe we never made it a fucking topic. But how do you not care about what people think of you? Because me and you both, we hammer that shit home to people because they don't get it. There's got to come a time where you do not, emotionally, it doesn't bother you. Because you had a woman, you're a white supremacist, am I right?
That's what I heard this week from a lady, from some young girl that I've never met. We weren't friends on Facebook, but
I've never heard this. By the way, you got a ton of black guys that work with you and for you and that are fantastic.
113 comments from her later. I finally, for her own benefit, decided I need to block her because literally my friends are going to destroy this girl, and I'm going to wake up in the morning and find out she offed herself over what. So I was like,
that can happen with the Gary Lamb.
She had 130. She personally made 113 comments on one post.
Sounds like she was digging out of a hole.
Yeah, she was fired up about my Rage Against the Vaccine shirt, and I was just,
you're a racist because of that.
Yes,
that's incredible.
And I was a bigot and money launderer, and I think
money
it really
laundering's awesome.
Yeah, she brought up the she brought up 12 years ago, and I said, man, if you think 12 years ago is the worst thing I've ever done, you're in for a shock. And
God,
but it was funny. My friends were messaging me and texting me, and they're like, "Are you good?" And I didn't even know what they were talking about. I was like, "Yeah, I'm great, man. What's going on?" Oh, this girl, man. I was like, "Oh, I haven't even been on Facebook. I don't know." And they're like, "So you've seen it?" I was like, "Yeah." What do you think? I said, "Dude, all she's doing is selling more T-shirts for me."
Yes, she
good
is.
For
that's
her.
What I said.
Great,
dude, I
man.
steer into somebody. I love it. Because that's 113 more views,
right?
And looks,
yeah.
And people like, holy shit, do you watch this?
Yeah.
Because I'd be laying in bed. If I would have caught that, I'd be like, babe, look at this. Look at Gary's fucking thread.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. And she'd be like, holy shit. Then she'd pull it up.
Yeah.
That's how shit spreads. Man.
Yeah. I just
doing us a favor.
I don't know if it's because I've dealt with it for so long, or what it is. I wish I had the magic cure on it, but like it's not bullshit. When I tell you it doesn't faze me. It doesn't bother me. I don't even think about it. Mm-hmm. And it's been interesting to watch my wife. Even the other day, she was like, I'm about to get on that post. I said, nah, you're not getting on that post. Don't worry about it. 8 years, though, she's finally learning. Listen, let them talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Rick got on the post. And then
Rick gets emotional, though.
Rick gets emotional.
One of those guys that does get emotional.
Yes.
He gets fired up. So
yeah,
he goes from 0 to 1,000.
You know, Martin Wilson was on there. She went after him. Doc's in Facebook jail right now.
Doc might be. I mean, we're going to talk about the Horseman here in a little bit. I love Doc.
Doc's my sleeper pick for the Horseman. I mean, we can go ahead and go there now. I didn't know we were going to jump in there.
I love it. Well, I want to because I was going to ask you if you can. I can pinpoint the moment I quit giving a shit about whether people like me or not.
Right.
I know the exact moment.
Okay.
It was when I got divorced, and I've always taken the blame. I ruined the marriage or whatever.
Right.
I lost all my friends almost.
Yes.
And the moment that all of them, when I saw how that works, because that happens in divorces, you kind of split friends or maybe lose some. I lost all of them. And so I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I can't give a shit about why. If I care that you don't like me, I'd off myself because I lost all of them.
Right.
So it's either pick myself up, and it was that day where I was like, you know what? They never probably liked me a whole lot anyway, or they weren't. They didn't stick around. I mean, you had like one guy stick around with you that gave you a place to live and shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, for me, it was probably when I moved here at 28 years old to start a church. I know this sounds crazy because they're on every corner now, but at that time, there wasn't any kind of contemporary modern church here in town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we were feeding more people and clothing more people. And we were the biggest church in town. And by all the Christian metrics, baptizing more people, doing whatever, and yet the Christians still despised us because I had blue jeans on, and I was just like,
of course you weren't.
I came from the mindset as like, you can't fucking win for losing. There's nothing I can do that's right for these people.
A great point.
So go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
And then when I lost everything, and everybody's like, you need to move away, I was like, go fuck yourself. This is where I'm staying here, and so. Yeah, so that was probably the moment for me, and I'm so used to it. I think I came along early in the Twitter age, along early in the blog age, and so I was, in my professional career, very active in those things. So I was used to open forums where I'd write a blog post, and there'd be 30 negative comments, or, I remember when I was the pastor there, someone stole we were portable church, and someone stole our trailer with all our kids' stuff in it. And I wrote a blog post saying if we find you, we're going to beat the hell out of you. And everybody was like, what happened to turn the other cheek? I said, we'll turn the other cheek after we beat the hell out of you.
When we get our shit
back. I was just like, I was like, I'm pissed right now. I don't care how a pastor's supposed to act. Someone stole what was ours. I'm pissed.
Absolutely.
So,
and that kind of comes with it. And I tell people too, because they ask me like, so how do, I'll post something, right? And I'll get, a handful of people that hate it, right? And they hate it with all of their being. So they're just polar opposite, which is fine. I'm okay with being politically different.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if we disagree on that shit. That's fine. But some people are they're so tied to their social media image, which is so far from their real person,
Right.
that's why it hurts, right?
Right.
Because this is just me.
Right.
I'm just throwing on the chain, but I'm the same.
Right.
Uncle Randy's the same fucking guy. I don't care both whether we're on or off social media. Like I've given and received in my life the conversation you had to give to this guy.
Yeah.
I've gotten it and I've given it.
I have told so many people, like I'll tell the church on Sunday, you might not like me on Sunday, but I'm the same person on this stage, down to foul mouth on stage. I'm the same guy on stage on Sunday that you're going to see at Ingles on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday.
You going to bed, buddy? Dude? Hey, give me a kiss real quick if you're going to bed. Love you, buddy. Sleep good. I'll see you in the morning, buddy. Look at that hair, though, Gary.
It's the hair of a champion, Thor. A hair of a god.
John, get out of here. I don't want you farting it. Well, he wants to stay. We'll let him fart it up. He's like, no, I'm staying. Right. Love you, bud. Yeah, so, all right, so you're the same guy on Sunday as you are, which I know that
if you don't like me, you don't like me. There's nothing I can do about that. So
somebody's sending me a text about something about
I think your dogs smell my dogs. They're down here licking my balls. I mean, I'm not complaining that my balls are getting licked as this podcast goes on.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Somebody watching us on their big screen.
Who's that?
That's a friend of mine, Kevin, in Seattle.
That's winning.
That's in Seattle, bro. That's up in...
We're national.
That's up in Liberal Town.
That's national.
He's a Bama boy. He hates it. He carries guns.
So, yeah.
He's one of the good ones up there. Which basically is burning that whole area to the ground. That place has lost its way.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there.
Yeah, I don't know how he stays.
Come on to Canton.
Yeah, come on down to Silvertown, sons.
There's a house, two houses down for sale.
2 houses down. It is ripe and ready. Now, they got some weird gold-ass wallpaper in that house.
That's all right.
Yeah, they were some...
That's king shit.
Dude, it was some ugly shit, though.
That's king. Sometimes kings...
I could rock that.
Right.
But you got to love it.
Yeah.
And I know they didn't love it. I can tell. John, you got to relax, sir. You're killing me already. All right, so let me get over here and let's pull up. I want to go to I'm going to start on the listener questions. We got a bunch. All right, well, this came over, so I guess we can answer why. You can go first. Why do you think it's difficult for people to stop caring about what others think of them?
Because we're insecure. We're not confident in our decision process. We're not secure in our own skin. And at the end of the day, deep down, everybody wants to be liked.
Yeah.
So when you get past that, it's the most freeing thing you could ever experience in your life.
I think it's also until you get a true circle, tribe of friends, you're fighting for every friend you can get right in life. But once you've either lost a group, I'm gonna have to let him out. He's driving me nuts. Hang on.
He's not even licking your balls. My balls are getting licked. I was literally sitting here thinking, I'm a champion. I'm getting my balls licked. Not even by a hot chick. I'm getting my balls licked by a dog while I keep on going and just rolling with it. So.
All right, yeah. So I just think not only is it, like you said, people have an innate need to be liked, but people have a tendency now to never make any real friends.
Yeah.
They just make these social media friends.
That's a good point.
And they've got like a personality online.
Yeah.
And that's everything.
Right.
So if somebody disagrees with them on there, they're like, oh, well, there's all my friendships.
Or the other side of that is they have an ability they need too many friends. I tell people, my wife and I have actually had a lot of discussions on this about probably the last 8 days, is I don't have a lot of people I consider friends. Someone made a comment. They said, man, you're surrounded by people all the time. I said, but very few of those people do I consider friends.
100%.
Now, they're good people. I have nothing against them. But a friend's a powerful word.
It is.
And I don't know if it's because I've always been in ministry and kept everybody at arm's length or what it is. I have often found a lot of times people too close to me, they end up wanting what I have.
Yes.
And that becomes a weird dynamic. And so I don't have a lot of people that I consider friends. And I don't know that I want them. I don't feel like I'm lonely.
No. And I mean, I categorize that we're very similar in that regard too. Like I've got, a good handful of people that I'm like, all right, that's my friend. And then I've got a pretty big group of people that are like, they're associates.
Yeah. I always go.
I enjoy them.
Right. I have nothing against them. I go to the example. everything goes back to the Bible. We always go back to Jesus, and it says he always had multitudes of people around him. But then he had 12 disciples. But of the 12 disciples, he only had 3 that were in the inner circle, Peter, James, and John.
Homeboys.
And so they went with him everywhere.
You're right.
Now, that doesn't mean he didn't care about the other 9.
Nope.
And one of them betrayed him. And I always say, man, you got a Judas close enough to dip bread with you.
Yep.
And but he had 3 people that he literally did life with. The other 9 were there, but Peter, James, and John were the ride or die.
Now, Jesus was 33, right?
Yes, when he died.
So me and you have decided that's the number, because I did the math. That's kind of when all my
I
shit
lost
went
everything
down.
at 33.
Mine was
33 is the
right at
bitch year, man.
So I wanted. There needs to be some science on that, because
we need to do some
too much.
We need to do some numerology on what 33 means.
Because I think everybody tries to say like guys hit their midlife crises or whatever at a certain dude. I think 33.
Yeah,
is
are
right
people
there.
watching that? I need to log in here.
Oh yeah. We got people on here. We got Susan just made a great comment here. Susan Stevens. She said you got to love and like yourself and be honest.
Yes.
They either like you or they don't.
Right.
Yeah, and you can't make them like you.
No,
that's the thing. Not if you want it to be like real friends. Love you. And like you and hate you. Your friends can also hate good
you.
Friends can despise you at times, and they should. Because if they're in your circle, they're holding you accountable. And if they're not holding you accountable, kick them the fuck out of your circle, because you're not helping each other win.
My wife tells me all the time, I love you, but I do not like you right now.
Oh, there's plenty of times my wife doesn't like me.
So
I know she loves me at all times, but there's times where I know I'm like, she doesn't like me a whole lot right now. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. This is championship right here. I'm in the middle of a podcast, had a dog licking my balls, and got people messaging me saying, hey, have to take some people to the hospital, pray for me. And you respond right in the middle of that. It's called multitasking.
That is.
That's what we
That's
do.
How champions win.
So I think you got to get to the point where, have I talked about on this podcast on how my 3 criteria, I think I have because I talk about it all the time, but my 3 criteria for those that I listen to criticism from?
I don't think you've done 3. No.
So I have a criteria. So the first thing is,
Write this down, sons.
In order for me to listen to criticism from you, first thing is this: you got to know me. If you don't know me,
point.
If you don't know this girl the other day, I don't know her. She doesn't know me. I don't know anything about her. We've never met. So first of all, how are you going to criticize something based on a T-shirt you saw on Facebook? So you got to know me. But that's not enough, because there's a lot of people that know me.
Yeah.
Second of all, so first of all, do you know me? Second of all, do you love me?
Mm-hmm.
You can know me and hate me.
Yeah.
It happens quite often.
Sure.
So if you hate me, don't want what's best for me, you don't love me, then why am I going to listen to you? So, but that's not even the criteria. And I'm going to give you an example and break this down. The third one is this. So do you know me? Do you love me? Do you believe in me?
That's a good one.
So if you don't meet those 3 criteria, and I'll give you an example. My mother knows me.
Mm-hmm.
My mother loves me. I'm her son.
Of course she loves you.
My mother does not believe in the life that I live. She does not approve of the life that I live. She does not approve of the decisions that I make. That's her right. But here's the deal. Therefore, when my mother comes to me with criticism, I don't listen. She doesn't know me, love me, believe in me.
Just let it go in one ear, out the other.
My wife knows me. She loves me and she believes in me. If she's going to come along and give me criticism, you know me.
You'll take that input.
You love me.
100%.
You believe in me.
Yep.
So if you come to me like, hey, Gary, I need to call you out on some shit, I'm going to be
Same
like,
way.
doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
No.
But I'm going to listen to it.
I'm going to entertain it.
But if you don't know me, love me, and believe in me, if you don't meet all 3 of those criteria, I don't listen to the criticism from you, because your criticism is irrelevant to my, because again, if you don't believe in what I'm trying to accomplish, then how are you going to give feedback on what I'm trying to accomplish?
Sure. Yeah. And if you don't believe in me, then you're kind of trying to sink me.
Right.
You know,
or you just think I hold no water in that. So you can, if you don't believe in me as an entrepreneur and think I should go get a 9-to-5 job, then why am I ever going to listen to criticism from you about what I do for a living? You don't understand what I'm trying to do.
No, that's probably the strongest points we've made on this show.
Yeah, write that down.
We should all write those 3
Do you know
down.
me? Do you love me? Do you believe in me? If the answer is yes to all 3 of those,
you should listen.
I'm going to listen to you all day long, even if I don't like it.
But that answers the question. So to answer this, that's the perfect answer. But so you want to know how to not care about what people think, run them through that criteria. And that's not my criteria. I just heard it too. I love it. If you do that, I guarantee you'll weed out all the bullshit.
Right.
and nothing will hurt. It won't hurt your feelings unless it's somebody that important in your life, and maybe that'll make you step back and be like, maybe I went too far.
Right.
Maybe I did.
Maybe I need to listen.
Which happens. We all fuck up.
Of course, I need someone to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Sure. Be like,
my wife and I got into it today about someone, and we didn't have the same point of view on this person. And in the end, we did not agree.
Which is okay.
That being said, I changed my level of dislike for the person was lowered after hearing what my wife had to say and her points that she had to make. And I'm like, those are all valid.
So her point was made. Yeah.
Right.
It was a
on
worthwhile
a
discussion.
scale of 1 to 10, I don't dislike this person. At a 10, I dislike him at a 5 now. It's a lower level of dislike because I listened to what my wife had to say. She called my bullshit out.
We got a listener here, Susan, who's a very smart lady. I love Susan. She just made a mental note of those. She said, do you know me? Do you love me? Do you believe in me?
Yeah, those are good.
Those are great, dude.
I've lived by those forever.
You might need to make a shirt. You might need to make that into a fucking shirt, sir. But now that by the way, Gary Lamb now can spit out shirts left and right, sons. He just shit
what
them
we
out.
do.
You want him to shit out some shirts, sons?
Boom.
Holler at him.
I think of the idea. It comes out. Boom. It's printed.
Dude, that's got to be a good feeling. Like you can be sitting around on the shitter like,
yes.
This is a great shirt idea. Boom, done. I
Bud
know.
Biden came out with it. Can't tell you how many of these I sold in 24 hours.
You don't know how many times I've seen you drop a shirt design, and I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, I wonder if Gary's on the shitter right now. He was just like, this is a great shirt.
Yeah, just came up with this idea.
Dropping it out. If anybody wants it,
That's
buy
right.
it. If not, go fuck yourself.
Right. Don't want it. That's cool. We're going to print it anyway.
Yeah. There's another person chimed in and said, yes, please make that a shirt.
So.
All right. So that answers that question. Let's go. I'm going to bounce around here. Top 3 movies off the top of your head. Go.
Boom. Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Tombstone.
Oh, man. I'm big on Tombstone.
I love Tombstone.
And it's not in my top 3. Now I'm upset it's not.
It's not in your
I'm
top
not gonna
3?
Steal it. No, but it should be. It's in my top 5.
All right,
I'm
go.
disappointed I didn't put it in my top 5.
Go.
You might laugh, son.
Okay.
And it's fine if we disagree. My number 1, Roadhouse.
Okay. No.
Roadhouse.
I'm not going to laugh at that. That's top 10 for me, 100%.
Roadhouse, if it's on and I'm not leaving.
Of course.
Dude, you got Swayze, Dalton,
Come on.
kicking ass.
Yeah.
People underestimate Roadhouse.
Oh, Roadhouse is top 10.
Dude,
For me, it's top 10, no doubt about it.
People laugh at me all the time when I tell them that. I'm like, I stick by it, bro.
Yeah,
Roadhouse
I
is a
respect
championship flick.
No, I respect that.
The Big Bangs, fucking Sam Elliott,
Yeah.
old ass
Come
fucking
on.
cooler. All right. Yeah.
Hold on, that was one movie. You had to name 3.
Now, no, my other one, this one is going to, some people love it, some people hate it. The Replacements.
Oh, yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
I don't love it, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not top 10 for me.
I love that movie. I love Keanu at quarterback. And Keanu's not even the best actor. So
Yeah.
I know he's John Wick and all that,
Yeah.
but when he's just acting, he's really kind of subpar. He's just kind of the same guy, but I fucking love The Replacements. Now, my number 3, I can't negotiate. It could go to 1 or 2, Top Gun.
I respect that.
I'm a Top Gun guy.
I respect that. It probably, for me, wouldn't be in top 10. I'm a Gladiator guy. I'm a Braveheart guy.
I'm going Shawshank next.
So Shawshank is that weird movie for me where it might make the top 10, but here's the deal. That is my movie that if I'm flipping through the channels, I'm stopping.
Andy Dufresne.
Wherever it's at in the movie, I'm watching the rest of the movie. It is I would venture to say I have seen Shawshank more than any other movie.
It's a great fucking flick. Man.
Great flick.
I'm putting that, and I want to make a note that my next would be Tombstone and Shawshank.
Yeah, Tombstone's outstanding. Of course, I'm just a mafia guy, so I love Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah. Now, that movie behind you, I also put high, Breakfast Club. That's just my
great
era.
movie. That's a great movie. No problem with that.
I do love some Breakfast Club, but yeah, it's not my top. But I won't negotiate Roadhouse, and I won't apologize, sons.
You shouldn't.
If you don't want to like Uncle Randy because he likes Roadhouse, goddamn, that's your problem. Oh, my dad chimed in here. 8 Seconds. It's another good movie.
I love
Very
8 Seconds.
Underrated.
Love 8
Lane
Seconds.
Frost.
Would not be top 10 for me, but I do remember. Here's one of my memories from 8 Seconds. One of the first times I took a girl to a movie and got to second base. 8 Seconds was during 8 Seconds.
Luke Perry.
Got the first time, got some boobs in the hand. And so 8 Seconds will always hold a special place in my heart for that.
Now, let me tell you why 8 Seconds means a lot to me, because I've used this quote a lot in my life. When Lane Frost gets his ball stepped on and he's wanting to quit, and Tough Heaterman's in there with him in the tent, and he goes, "You're the best damn bull rider And no, I'm actually wrong. It's the wrong scene. When Tough is drunk, they're in the hotel room, and Lane's like asking him, like, how come you something, like you don't like me or something? And Tough gets in his face and he says, because you ain't goddamn good enough. You're a puss.
Yeah.
Dream about that.
Yeah.
And I've used that to people. You ain't goddamn good enough. You're a puss.
It's a great movie.
But I do love some Lane Frost. So 8 Seconds would be up there. If you're going to go with a war flick, what's your war flick?
Are we talking war, like military war?
Yeah. Like Saving Private Ryan, Platoon, Hamburger Hill.
Can I count Top Gun as that?
Yeah, I would. Top Gun.
I mean, I love Saving Private Ryan. Let's not,
God,
it's
an emotional roller coaster.
But I'm going to go Top Gun. I'm going to go Top Gun because I loved it. Yeah. Someone mentioned Pearl Harbor, a great movie.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to,
but I also like, what was the one with the drill sergeant?
Fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
That's
outstanding.
Right. Absolutely, can't
the
deny
best.
That. Rest in peace to the drill and sergeant guy who was a real Marine. My dad actually talked about him all the time. He was a real Marine.
Yeah.
My dad was a Marine for 21 or 22
Who is
years.
this Stephanie girl who just said Edward Scissorhands? Ban her from the podcast right now.
Edward Scissorhands. I forgot that movie existed.
She's banned.
We Were Soldiers is great.
Yep.
DS, that's a great movie. Fucking Colonel Hal Moore, absolutely. 13 Hours is good. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But I do go with Full Metal Jacket because when they beat him with the fucking bricks of soap and then he blows motherfuckers away.
Greatest.
That's some real life shit.
Yes.
Guess what? You pick on a motherfucker.
Yes.
You turn him into fucking Private Pile.
Yes.
And he pulls out his fucking strap and blows your brains out.
Yes.
Oh, those are good though. All right. All right, this one is for me. Uncle Randy, how do you decide on the charities that you're going to support with fundraisers? It's a good question. There's no real rhyme or reason. I just kind of vet them. We kind of hit on it. I just like to know, like get a feel for them, right? Like I met Jim. He's fantastic. I knew right away that I would work with him again. Like I'll help anybody because we're not a huge thing. We just kind of get behind and try to help out. The food drive we did was literally just 2 days and we got to help with the food pantry. Because that's kind of the first line of defense, right?
Of course.
There's food pantries, they need food. They run out. That shit gets really used. So that's not money.
Yeah.
That's food.
We'll do it next Wednesday and have cars 30, 40 deep.
Yeah. And people need it and they use it and they need the shit, with the Cherokee County homeless veteran. I didn't even think about it, but he was like, we need shit with like pop tops, right?
Right, yes.
They don't even have can openers. And microwavable, because if we do put them in a place, it's a hotel with just a microwave. So I didn't know there was all the criteria to make it easier, but that makes total sense. When it comes to the perishable shit that they need. So I don't know. We just kind of talk about it and check out these. There's a lot of really good charities. What I've learned is they don't have to be big fucking name shit. The ones that do the work are really these smaller. So
I'm going to say some stuff that's going to piss some people off.
Well, do it. This shit.
So locally, there's a certain nonprofit that everyone knows and there's two of them that get all the credit for things. And I think to myself, they're nothing but corporate entities. Yeah. I can take you to grassroots efforts that are doing 10 times the work that those people are. I can take you to a lady's home that has a shed in her backyard who's giving out more food out of that shed than some of the big names around here all day long.
And that's who I would want to help.
The problem is everyone jumps on these corporate bandwagon entities that have CEOs and full-time staff of 20, 30 people in corporate offices. And it's not that they're not doing good work. I just think there's a lot more grassroots efforts without all the red tape for people to get. Our thing is always no questions asked. We help no questions asked. Well, I don't need to see your driver's license. I don't need you to fill out paperwork. I don't give two fucks. We're not getting grants from the government, so I don't have to turn it all in. Yeah. So you see a need, meet a need is kind of our philosophy.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's, we talked about, I said I was going to drop Jim's info on here, and we have, but he really impressed me. I don't have no reason to endorse him other than I really do.
He's a real deal. He believes and has a heart for homeless vets.
And he is a very nice man.
Yeah, we've used him several times in our dealings with homeless people. When they're vets, we call him. Yeah. And he's never not come through.
Well, boom. I mean, you got a double endorsement there. And that's what I look for, honestly, when I'm digging and meeting these people is that I try to evaluate where the most of my dollar is actually going to go. Like every dollar that's donated, that's going to get used. Because like you're talking about the big corporate ones, dude, if you really look at some of these charities and you vet them and you dig in, some of these really big ones, like you could use anything, like American Red Cross.
Yeah.
I've looked into like it's like 3 cents of the dollar.
Yes,
that actually goes to the fund.
Of course.
So 97 cents of that dollar
it goes to fund
to paying a motherfucker
paying for the buildings.
So 3 cents.
Right.
So that's where I look, to where my $1
100%,
or that the person that donates that dollar is going to get used the most. So that's really where I look. But so you haven't dealt with a lot of these locally. So that's a good question that I just want to know for me. So I'm sure you weigh that too, right? When you meet somebody that's doing a new charity, have you ever worked with somebody and been like, oh shit, they're not in this for the right reasons? There's a business.
100%. I've met it. Well,
there's a business here somewhere.
There's a couple of bigger groups here in town that I feel like it's definitely business. And then there's even a couple of smaller groups that I feel like, man, you're not in this for that reason. You're in this for the pats on the backs. You're in this for the attaboys. You're in this for the praise. Yes. You're in this for everyone to think you're a superhero. Sure. And then I've met a lot of people that talk about what they're going to do. Yeah. I'll never forget getting invited to a roundtable discussion. There's a group here, I think they're called Cherokee Focus. They get all the nonprofits together once a month, and the theme this month was homelessness. Mm-hmm. And there's about 30 people in the room, and there was like 5 people in the room. This is probably 4 years ago that were going to start homeless shelters. And I'm sitting back and I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, they're never going to do this. Sure. Then everyone was telling each other all the problems about homelessness, and it got around to me. And I said, well, I don't really know. I said, we've been running a homeless shelter for 3 years. We're the emergency warming shelter for the county. Yeah. And we're still running that for 7 years now. But and
anybody can come into y'all's shelter, right? Rick's told me about this.
Yes, the temperatures drop below 32 degrees, our building turns into shelter. No questions asked. But it immediately turned into everything we were doing wrong. So I finally I forgot. I looked at the lady and I said, I understand what you're saying.
So the building's not warm.
Right. I said, so what are you doing? And she said, well, we're not.
That's a power.
She said, we're not doing anything. I said, I like my method better.
Absolutely.
And so, but they wanted to complicate it. It was funny. They were like, at that time, we had a guy living in the church full time.
Bureaucracy, right?
And they were like, you need to get volunteers and we need to start a food. I said, I don't need to do any of that. I said, I have a guy who does it. He's going to burn out. I looked at him and said, he's not going to fucking burn out because I give him rent for free. Yes. He lives in my building, and that's part of the criteria. And as long as he lives in our building, he'll open the fucking doors. Yep. And he ain't going to burn out. When he burns out, I'll throw him out and replace him. But I said, you're turning this into a full-time job for me. Yeah. I don't have time for it to be a full-time job. I don't need to send out emails for food trains and this. Yep. I posted on Facebook, tell them I need food. We've never in 7 years now had somebody drop off food at 5 o'clock. That's awesome. I post we need breakfast. I've never in 7 years not had someone drop off breakfast. Awesome. Funny story is, I've got a staff I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, make sure you're good.
I've got a person from my previous church that will bring us stuff and be like, hey, don't post that we brought this. I don't want the pastor to know. I'm like,
that's
cool.
Fuck that. That's ridiculous. But that's good for you.
I always like it. I'm like, that's funny. Just keep bringing it.
Well, so have you had, like, there's been a couple in the last few years, pretty big freezes. Yeah. So, people take advantage of,
absolutely.
The church being open?
100%.
So if it drops, you send somebody there to open the fucking church.
The door's open. If it drops below 32 degrees.
That's awesome. Dude.
Always.
That's huge. I did not know that.
Yes. So when we had the big freeze, remember everybody got stuck on the thing? We probably had 72 people in the building.
And they didn't have to be home. Like, that's just...
Oh, dude, they were there for 2 or 3 days. Yeah. But on a regular basis, we have anywhere from 2 people to 12 people. It just depends on what's going on. It's not always homeless. Sometimes it'll be people that are probably in poorer conditions and don't have heat in their house. Don't have a generator. Don't have a generator. Yeah. And so there's 100% people are always there.
Here's what I want people to write down. And you would never say this about yourself, but I'm learning this as we've gotten to know each other. So this ties back. There's a real method to Gary Lamb's madness, right? There's definitely a madness, because I'm tying this already back to our first episode where you told me that your criteria on your building was you wanted it in the slums.
Yes.
So that makes it easier to help.
Yes. So at that time, now we've been there for a while now and it's not there, but at the time that we moved in that building, there was a homeless camp literally in the back of our building with probably 30 homeless people in it. Mm. And they were there till probably about 3 years ago. The city showed up with a bobcat, bulldozed it down. And they probably needed to. It
Sure.
had got out of hand.
Sure.
They needed to get it back under control. But for the longest time, we had 20, 25 homeless people living behind our building 24/7.
So that's part of the plan, though, right?
That was
'Cause you
part.
put it in the
That's
criteria.
why we moved there.
That's fucking crazy.
We used to put them in buses. I used to have 2 school buses.
Because you could have easily told them, "Hey, put this on the fancy part of camp.
Yeah.
Put it on where we're
Yeah, we used to have 2 school buses that we gutted the seats, put hardwood floors in, had cots, and the city criteria was you had to move them every 2 days, where they weren't. So every 2 days I'd come and we'd move the buses 10 feet, and we put them in the buses, and they were hardwood floors in the buses, cots in the buses, and that way they weren't staying in the building, which was breaking city code.
See, not enough people give you credit for that, and it doesn't hurt you that they don't.
Yeah.
Your detractors don't look at
Right.
like that's crazy to me. Like that may just be me, but because I'm just tying that all together. But that actually makes sense. Like you planned all that. Like
that's why we moved there. That's why we wanted to be in that part of town.
So you could actually serve people, and it wasn't about the show.
Well,
it's about serving.
Well, we
people.
didn't want to be, and I'm not dogging any group that does this, but I watch it every Thanksgiving. Every Thanksgiving Day, we'll have people from every church that wants to feel better about them show up in our parking lot, and they're trying to find people.
Sure.
And we can't find people. I said, yeah. I said, because, man, they're turned off by you.
Absolutely.
You now
patronize them.
You now look at them like a charity case. Until December of last year, I lived 2 blocks from there.
Yep.
I lived in that area for 7 fucking years. I lived there. And so that's why I always laugh. I don't laugh in a mean way, but like First Baptist Woodstock tried to start a homeless shelter. The Mecca.
Is that the
Mecca.
people that wrote the bad letter, though, also to who was the ones that wrote the letter to the gay lady that you and Brooke got?
No, that was
chat
some
about?
Christian, little small Christian church.
I thought it was one of the
First
bigger
Baptist
ones.
Woodstock's the big mega church on 92.
the big UFO.
But they tried to start a homeless shelter right across the street from us, and it bombed. No one would go into it, and they couldn't figure out why. I said, here's why. I said, because you look at them as a charity case.
Yeah.
You show up when it's cold and open the doors. I said, we're down here 24/7.
Yeah.
I said, we're not just dealing with them when it's 32 degrees. I'm dealing with them when I pull in the parking lot, and there's Lou over there passed out on the street corner, and I'm picking him up to be like, come on, man, you got to get up before you get arrested. Let's go. You know what I mean? And there's so-and-so who came in our church service drunk with no T-shirt on one time, and I put a wrestling shirt on and be like, hey, man, let's put this T-shirt on. You're good. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
And so
That's
they know
incredible.
us. We've been down there 10 years now. December will be 10 years.
Dude, that's nuts. That's awesome. And Rick has sold that story. I'll tell you what, for everything about white boy Rick, who's definitely an assassin and who knows all the crimes he's committed at one point in his life, man, he sells the shit out of the philanthropic part of
Yeah, he
church.
buys into that. That's his heartbeat.
He does not, and there's no fuckery,
Yeah.
and he gets fired up about it.
Yeah, we do a thing every Thanksgiving called Give Canton the Bird. And we've done it now for about 6 years. And my philosophy is Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. And Thanksgiving ought to be with family. So instead of us serving a Thanksgiving dinner, we give out everything a family needs to cook Thanksgiving, including the turkey. And we normally give out about 2,500 meals to about 2,500 families.
Fantastic.
And it's all community people that do fundraisers, or they go out shopping, they do it. And we've called it Give Canton the Bird for 6-7 years now, and it goes over huge.
Yeah. And you're not one to like, you could easily harp on the good things that you do, but you don't.
No, I don't care about
You
that.
really don't.
I just do it because I love it.
I know, but you don't sell it. Like you never do. I'm always on. I watch everything you do on social media. You never like promote.
Occasionally, I mean, you'll see come November when it's Thanksgiving time, and I'm trying to give Canton the Bird.
I've seen that.
I'll
I've seen it
push
last
that.
year. But you're never like, look at what we did.
No,
or
man.
this. You're just like, hey man, this is available.
Nothing turns my stomach more than.
Is that because your experience though?
Let me
where you
maybe,
came from?
but like, look at me feed this family. But I'm going to video the whole thing, and then I'm
That's
going to post
patronizing.
it, and it just disgusts me. And so I don't do it, and we're not going to do it. And I just want people to feel safe and comfortable to come in and get help, and know that they're not going to be broadcast through the muck and the mire.
Let me tell you something about Linda. I know you said you love Linda.
Yeah, that's my girl.
And she's the one that was the grape nuts.
Yes.
Which is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
And cereal.
No
But
one's
who
perfect.
cares? Nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect.
This lady is the real deal.
Yes.
She's watched me and Brooke now.
Yes.
She is She is amazing.
She's amazing.
I've got to meet her in person. She makes me smile.
Yes, she's the
so
sweetest
nice.
lady in the world.
I'll forgive the grape nuts.
Right.
Guess what? I don't even think about it.
Boom.
Grape nuts are fine.
She's not judged
I'm
anymore.
never going to eat them, though.
Right.
I'm never going to eat grape nuts. They look like durable food.
Yes.
Why are they in pellets?
And that's
Why
horrible.
Is it pellets?
Why can't they come up with something better?
Who thought of that? I'm going to make this shit into durable pellets.
I don't know.
Sounds delicious and call it grape nuts.
Yeah, it's gross. It's even a horrible name.
I've never had a bowl.
I'm not going
I don't
to.
even know.
Yeah, I'm a man. I'm not going to eat that shit.
All right, but this leads into the next question. This is a great question. I think this is probably the person that sent us the cereal. Gary and Unc, will you please describe in detail what the perfect meal for you consists of?
Oh, man.
We'll let you go first on this one.
Well, I love to eat.
We both love to eat.
Yeah, so if I'm on death row.
The hour on Little Caesars tells people we love to eat.
If I'm on death row and I got one meal left,
Yes.
I'm going legit cast iron fried chicken. I'm going mac and cheese,
I'm starving.
mashed potatoes with brown gravy, and cat head biscuits with strawberry preserves. I mean, if I'm on death row, that's what I'm going with. But I love a good steak. My wife, side of her family is fully Italian, so she makes this incredible sauce. So I love, like, for us in our marriage, that's like the big thing is when Christine makes spaghetti. And so, like, that's a great thing to me that I love. But, you know, I'm going to go fried chicken, mac and cheese, probably some fried okra, some cat head biscuits. And then I'm going to chase it. You're probably going to find this surprising. Dessert-wise, I'm going to chase it with just a piece of yellow cake and chocolate icing. That's my go-to.
That's fine. Glass of milk.
Yeah,
I've got to have a glass of milk.
Is that? I just feel like
you
some
hand me that
things are
cake,
given.
if you give me that cake, and I've got like a soda or a beer,
no, not going to happen.
I'm going to be like,
yeah,
get the fuck out.
Some
I'm
things
going to
are
have
just
the
a
talk
given.
you had with the person.
Yes.
Be like, you know what? We got to reevaluate.
Yes.
I love the yellow cake
Right.
with the chocolate icing. Who doesn't?
Right.
But the fact you're not giving me some ice cold milk
Right.
to what? There's nothing else that will wash
Yes.
this down properly.
Yeah.
And it's got to be whole milk, son.
Yeah.
Uncle Randy doesn't do the skim shit, all right?
Yeah.
That looks like semen.
Yeah.
Skim milk looks like watered down
right.
semen. I can't do skim.
Yeah.
I can do 2%.
I
if
can do
had
almond
to.
milk, actually.
I've never tried it.
I can
so
do
I'm not gonna
almond milk.
knock
I don't know
it.
how you
haven't
milk an
tried it.
almond, but I can do it.
I've never tried it, so I'm not going to say I
Tony
couldn't.
Sweat's on here dropping truth bombs. I mean, I'm going to roll with some smoking Tony's brisket.
Dude, let me tell you
There's
something.
nothing wrong with that.
Let me tell you about something.
I told him recently probably some of the best brisket I've ever had, and that was hard for me because I don't like to compliment him a lot, but it was that damn good.
I gave Smokin' Tony the most rave review on our first show he's ever gotten.
Yes.
From that
Yes.
festival where we had his
Right.
burritos.
Yes.
The best thing I've
Yes.
eaten. And then he jumped on, he trolled me on one of my Facebook threads. He became my friend.
Yeah.
And he dogged me about something that I was like super conservative about. And I only replied back. I was like, after all the good shit I said about your
Right.
food truck. He's like, oh, I'm kidding. I still think
So
you're great.
Tony, here's what you have to understand about Tony. He's watching right now, and I love Tony.
I do too.
But he's completely inept at social media. So a lot of times he'll argue with you, doesn't even realize he's arguing with you.
Yeah.
Or it's funny in his head, or he's had too much bourbon for the night.
Very
and
possible.
He's feeling froggy, but listen, bring us some, Tony, get in the truck right now, bring us some brisket over
I've told
here.
everyone, I stand by it. His burrito blew my fucking head off.
Yeah.
And you don't need to change anything about it. Just get it standard. It's fantastic.
Doc's texting me, wanting to know if his comments are showing up. Doc, your comments are not showing up. You're in jail.
No.
So you
Doc,
keep commenting,
you
they're
are
not showing
fired.
up.
Yeah, you are in jail. Which I did a stretch.
Yeah.
It was painful.
Yeah.
I'd never done a stretch.
I've done them.
You've done them.
I've done them.
You have like plan B and C. I had to text you and be like, dude, I'm in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Let everybody know.
So
It had never happened. They fucked me. But so my meal, I'm going to go, which you gave this kind of like a plan B. If I'm going and I can make one meal, and I want to be the one cooking it if I can, because this is just a championship meal. Very basic, sons, but write it all down. When you want to win, you can't go wrong with this meal. A ribeye steak.
no,
Salt and pepper, son. Salt and pepper.
don't add anything else to
Just
it.
go with some sea salt. You need a good coarse salt
Yeah,
to help
coarse
make
salt.
the crust. Don't pour a bunch of fucking
No.
table salt
No.
all over it. It's got to have the little crunch, son. Salt, pepper, boom. I'm more of a high heat sear. I know people do the reverse sear. I'm just char it,
Yeah.
medium on the inside.
Yeah, so
char it, medium.
So me too. So I'm gonna get the green egg up to 700 degrees. I'm gonna pop it for 60 seconds. I'm gonna pop it for 60 seconds. I'm gonna flip it, shut all the vents down for 60 seconds, and we're gonna pull it off. I don't have time to reverse sear. I don't have time to all that. I'm
It's
ready
a
to
lot
eat.
of work. Now, I do like good grill marks, and I do look at people. Like
Yes.
if they hand me the steak and it's gray because
Yes.
they didn't get the
Yes.
char marks, you lose a couple. Now, it might be good,
100%.
but the marks,
It's
tell me
hard.
everything you
Steak's
do.
our go-to. We eat too much steak
I
at
love
the Lamb House.
But a good ribeye, and that's
Yeah.
just my cut. I know some people
Right, I'm a
strip
ribeye
filet.
guy.
I'm not a filet guy. People love filet.
My
I'm
wife
not a
was a filet
guy. I'm
woman.
not a
She's
filet.
bougie. She's bougie.
I've never been a big fan of it.
Yeah,
Why
no,
does it
I'll eat the
cost
hell
more?
out. Yeah, right. I'll eat it, but I want some fat in there. I want some ribeye.
Of course. What's the butter, man?
Yeah, I'll eat a strip, but I want a ribeye.
Yeah, I love a good ribeye. I'm going to go with the baked potato, son. And listen, this is how the baked potato is done. If you want to win, you're going to go a little salt, all right? A little bit of salt just to help, sweeten things up. You're going to do butter. Heavy butter. I like extra
Heavy
butter. Extra sour cream.
Yes.
That's exactly how you order it. I'd like a baked potato, please. Extra butter, extra sour cream. Boom, you get 2 ramekins of each. You're set. You're
No
good.
cheese on it?
I will go cheese.
I'm going to throw some cheese.
I can go with or without chives. It's fine. I can do either.
So for a date night, it's a weird night to do a date night. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. But on a Monday night, you need to take the wife to Downtown Kitchen. They have $20 ribeye night.
Their steaks are amazing.
Yeah.
I support you 100% on this.
And the $20 ribeye night is phenomenal.
Their steaks are fantastic.
Yes.
Now, what you don't want to get there that I got, which disgusted me, I got this jalapeno bourbon shot, and it tasted like an ashtray.
I wouldn't try that. That's
It was the
you
worst.
messed up.
I don't know why I ordered it, but
Yeah.
I did.
You don't
And
even like bourbon, first
I
of
know.
all.
And they saw me take a sip and how repulsed I was, and they literally took it off my tab without me asking. I would never ask
Right.
that because I ordered it. I'm
Right.
the dumbass that
Yes.
ordered it. But it was an ashtray.
Yes.
It blows me away that some people like that.
It's horrible.
The jalapeno grilled bourbon shot.
No.
That's terrible. But so I'm going to baked potato. I'm going with the side salad. And I'm going, listen, goddamn, you folks can be all foofy and eat your spring mix and all this shit. I want iceberg, goddamn. I want the no nutritional level lettuce.
Yeah.
The shit that's really just water and crispy.
Yes.
And I want a lot of ranch on it. So
Yeah.
I want croutons.
Yes.
You can throw a little bit
No.
here or there. I'm going to put some pepper on the ranch. Boom. I'm going to have that.
At Longhorns, I'm going side salad, ranch, cheese, croutons, nothing else.
I'm good with that.
Keep your tomatoes, keep your cucumbers.
all your bullshit.
I really just want some cheese or ranch on
I can
it.
even throw some bacon bits on that and
We'll-
call
we'll
it a
roll
day.
with that.
That's fine.
Nothing wrong with it.
And then you really threw me a curveball at the yellow cake, and I now want yellow cake.
Yeah. There's just nothing better than just a box yellow cake.
My dessert in a restaurant, because you don't see many that sell yellow cake.
No, you should never.
Which is they should.
Yeah, barbecue places sometimes.
But at a restaurant, I'm gonna order the old brownie with vanilla ice cream. I'm good with that.
Now I'm going to roll with that. I'm all fine with that. Normally, the wife and I share a dessert, and she's bougie.
Well, my wife eats all of it.
So
We share it, but I get
we're
one
going to
bite.
go cheesecake.
Cheesecake's glorious.
Normally we're going to go cheesecake. We've been doing a lot of cone to pick, the ice cream joint downtown Canton.
Yeah.
It's good, and they have an amazing brownie.
Now,
with,
where we're going to
ice
disagree, though, is Uncle Randy's going to have a ramekin of ketchup with that ribeye.
I know you are. I knew you were going to get to that. I was hoping you were just going to move on.
Let that slide.
I thought you weren't going to bring that up.
Dude, do you know how many friends I've gotten that?
I
we've been
remember
out
the
to a
whole
dinner.
discussion.
I know, but I've been out to dinner with people, and I'll be like, you bring me a side of ketchup. And I've seen the wind come out of my friends' sales, like evaluating. They're like, all right, let me do the pros and cons. All right, he can slide on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Do I want to be seen with him in public, though? That's the question.
yeah. It's just so weird to me, though, that it's a thing. It's like a disrespect. And I get it, because when I was in New York and ate real, authentic New York pizza, if you order ranch on the side, they'll kick you out.
Yes.
They'll tell you to get the fuck out.
Right.
These real
But I'm going to roll a
Brooklyn
ranch on my pizza.
Me too. But
Yeah.
it's an equivalent. Because
Yes.
those Italian guys, if you're like, hey, I'd like a slice of pepperoni, a side of ranch, you'd be like, guess what? Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
The fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But I love some ranch with my fucking shit. Oh, I'm already getting the smoke.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to this one. I just got a message from the wife. All right.
So you want a quickie? I need to sit here and keep the show going while you leave for a minute?
No.
Okay.
She said I had left Bubba's comment up for like 2 hours. So she's just helping out. All right, back to here. All right, this is a Gary Lamb question. Gary,
Yes.
is being saved really as easy as believing Christ died for our sins?
Yeah, I believe it is. He didn't complicate it. It's believing he's the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him.
So
Yeah.
that is how I learned it, right?
Yeah,
Right. You got to really believe that.
Right.
All right, well, that answers that question. Thank you, whoever sent that in. All right, Gary and Unc, what do you think defines a real man?
I've been on a masculinity kick lately.
It's not good to be a masculine man if you listen to our society nowadays.
Right,
but
no.
I disagree. I'm
Right.
with you on. You posted something the other day that was like, it's the best time in the
Yeah,
world.
because the competition's weak.
There ain't shit out there.
Yeah, to me, a real man does what's right no matter what. I know this is old school, but a real man provides. A real man leads. And then that doesn't mean that the wife. I'm not saying the wife can't work. I'm not saying anything like that. But he does what's right. He does what's right even when it's the hard thing to do. How about this? He does what's right even after he's done what's wrong. He does whatever is to protect those around him. He's not afraid to take a stand. He's not afraid to speak out. He's not afraid to do manly shit and not apologize for it.
Absolutely.
So
here's how I explain it. This is whether this is being manly or dad. It's strange, but it's the best way I could get it across. Like, men and women are different.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody says. They're different breeds. Mom's different than dad. They do different things. They bring different things to the table. Mom is the more nurturing by nature. But what we have to do as dads, that doesn't mean we don't love the kids at the same amount. Right. So dad will tend, and this can, listen, don't yell at me. Maybe it's a little different in your weird relationship, right? That the dynamic shifts.
Yeah.
But for the majority, this is how it works. Little Johnny scrapes his knee off. Mommy picks him up, hugs him, kisses him. He's going to be all better. Dad says, shake it off, Johnny.
right,
That doesn't mean we don't want to pick him up and
Right.
kiss him too.
yeah,
But we don't.
right,
Because we know that skinned knee is going to teach him something.
right. And
it
we're
sucks.
letting him know that's just life, man. You're going to fall down.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you're going to get beat up. Pick your ass up and go on.
But that's the dad burden,
Yeah.
right? Because inside, we want to pick him up.
Right.
You know, if
Yeah.
you fucking have a heart and you love your
Right.
kid and they're crying, you want to pick him up
Right.
too. But something inside of you says he's got to feel it.
yeah,
And I know it sucks, right? And he's
Right.
going to cry and he's going to bleed, and but
Right.
he's going to be fine. But I got to make sure that he knows from me
Right.
that he's got to get up.
I need
that's
him to
the-
learn. I need him to learn at 7 to get up from the skint knee.
'Cause there's gonna be a
That
lot
way
of
he's
them.
not learning at 22.
And fucking falling right on
Right.
his face.
Right.
And can't be a leader of his family.
Yes.
You know? So I've never apologized for that too. And people are like, that's so fucking such a
Yeah, we've made masculinity a bad thing. They've loved to label it as toxic masculinity. And I do believe there's toxic masculinity. But I believe what they have labeled toxic masculinity is just masculinity. And that doesn't mean you're a bigot. It doesn't mean you're a pig. It doesn't mean you dominate over your wife.
No, and it doesn't mean her way isn't equally as
Right,
important. 'Cause
right.
Her kissing Johnny
Right.
is just as important.
Yes, he
as
needs
me.
that, right.
And if I've got to be the dickhole for
Right.
a minute, I'm okay with that's
Right.
my job,
Right.
right? You know,
Yeah.
like that's how I look at it. And so I've had a lot of parents like they look at like the way I coach football. I know when my son's really hurt and when he's just
Right.
trying to figure out what really hurts.
Right.
You know, and they think I'm like callous because I'm like, get the fuck up, you're fine. Shake
Right.
it the fuck off.
Right.
Because guess what? Life's going to drill your dick one way.
Right.
And I'm talking about try to bury you
Right.
and push your face in the concrete, curb you, make you put your teeth on the curb.
Right.
And if you didn't get up from the skint knee, you're never going to get up from
Yeah.
that.
I do believe I believe men that are masculine lead, and I also believe this. I believe a truly masculine man, not a toxic masculinity, not an asshole, not a, but a true man who leads, your wife wants to follow.
Sure.
So now that doesn't mean her opinion doesn't matter. Christine would have to be here. I don't know that there's ever been a decision in our 8 years together where I looked at her and said, this is what we're doing, tough shit.
Oh, yeah. This is the deal.
We've talked about
Sure.
everything, but at the end of the day, if there was ever a time where we couldn't agree, I'm the man. I'm going to make the decision, and I'm going to deal with the consequence of this. And if it's the wrong decision, I'm going to get us out of that mess.
Yeah. And you're going to own it. You'll be
Right.
like, that
I'm going to
was-
own
that
it.
was my call.
Right. A man just does what's right is the way I
Yeah.
look at
I
it.
think that's a great point. Men that will sell their wife down the shitter
Right.
really chap my ass.
Right.
Even if she fucked up. You should be jumping on her grenades.
So.
I'll jump on, which Brooke doesn't throw many grenades.
Right.
But if she does, I want to be the butt of that grenade
Yeah.
intentionally.
I am going to protect my wife no matter what, even when she's wrong.
I
Why?
agree 1,000%.
Why? Because I'm the fucking man.
That is a man.
And she's not going to
it.
deal with the backlash.
Nope.
She's not going to deal with the negativity.
Nope.
If it means we lose friends or something aside, I'm going to take that fall when so many men are just pussies nowadays.
They are pussies.
They don't want to lead. Their wives drag them around, and I'm done apologizing for it.
Oh, me too.
I'm done apologizing that I expect my kids to be men and to open doors and for their
hold doors,
do whatever it is. I'm not, and there is a difference between men and women. That doesn't. I didn't say men were better.
No,
but there's a difference.
Neither one of us have said
there's
that.
difference, and that's the beautiful thing of the two coming together in
It
one.
is.
Their strengths and weaknesses and our weaknesses come together, and we make this perfect union.
Absolutely, because if we were both telling Johnny to get the fuck up and nobody was giving him any empathy or nurturing, he's going to be a serial killer.
Right.
But it's the mom kissing him too, giving him the other side.
Yeah.
And what I think dads get shortened on a lot, and I harp on people think I'm just saying that we've got a bad deal, but right now there's nothing worse than just being a guy. Like that's probably the worst thing in society.
A white guy.
According to society.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah. No,
a white guy.
Just an average old white guy. But what I don't like is there's people out there really saying that Father's Day should be done away with.
Yeah.
There's people that shoot for that. There shouldn't be no Father's Day.
Yeah.
It should just be Mother's Day. And that's horseshit, bro, because they don't realize the restraint it takes for a dad, because we love our kids as much as anybody, to be that way. It takes a bit of restraint to be like, get the fuck up.
I think, and by no means am I saying is it not tough to be a woman. That's not what I'm saying
of course.
at all. I think the problem, though, is we have so many women that are having to be men, too, because there's not enough men out there being men.
So many pussies.
And so you've got the wife out there having to make the decisions, having to lead. Always been my pet peeve that when a husband and a wife work, the husband comes home and he's done for the day.
Yeah.
But the wife works all day, then comes home and cooks dinner, cleans the house, gets the kids to bed. Get off your fucking ass and get in there and help. Yes. You know what I mean?
100%.
And so it's not even a matter of that. But
or she's going to sleep with somebody else.
But we have too many women that are having to be men because the men don't want to be men. They don't want to make the tough decisions. And women are looking. They're looking for a man to come along and lead and be a man of character and do what's right. And I tell people all the time, people always ask me all the time, how'd you get Christine? How'd you end up?
Which is a great question.
And I always say this. I say the key is marry a woman whose first husband was such a piece of shit that it doesn't matter what you do, you're a winner. And so, you know what I mean? I mean, like.
That's a good point. But well, I tell people too, right? These guys, I've got some buddies. They work and then they play games, like PlayStation and shit.
Yeah.
Like, your wife's going to fuck somebody, bro.
Right.
I just so we know.
Yeah. I tell people.
Like, if you push her on that brink, right? Women cheat different than men.
Yes.
Men love to fuck.
Right.
We all love to fuck. Men and women, everybody loves to fuck. But women, you're kind of going to be at fault if they fuck.
Yeah.
Where it may not be their fault if a man fucks around.
Right.
We're just shitbags.
Right.
We love to fuck. We want to spread our seed.
Right.
Shit, whatever. But a woman, you kind of got to push her there for a majority. Yeah. Now, there's some women that just love to get their fuck on, and maybe she's a little bit of a stink on the side. She likes to get her fuck on.
Yeah.
But usually there's going to be a reason. And guys that are pussies, their wife, she may say she doesn't want it. She's fucking a masculine dude if she does.
Yeah, we've got grown-ass men who are – you just hit a – man, I know we're going to piss me off. I've never understood, and I get now I'm 45, so I wasn't that generation. I was a little bit ahead of it. I don't get the grown-ass men that come home and play video games for 5 or 6 hours a night. I don't get it. But I also tell you this. I don't get the grown-ass men who come home and go play golf 4 nights a week or go play softball 4 nights a week. Now, do I not think that you can have hobbies and do I not think you can have things you have fun in? But, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I'm a hustler. I don't have fucking time for games.
Yeah.
I'm a grown-ass man, and that's one of the areas in my life I've made some changes with recently about people that want to play games. I don't have time for it. To each their own. But then they wonder why their wife's pissed off, because you're never around.
Or why she never fucks you.
Right.
Sons, I hate to tell you, a wife that doesn't fuck you, there's a reason.
Right.
I don't want to say anyone uses sex as a weapon or any shit like that, because that's not the truth. But it kind of...
Right.
It is...
But you've turned them off. They have no respect for you.
Of course. Do you think they're going to come in And ride you into the unknown when you've been playing Call of Duty since 10 and it's 4 a.m.?
Again, we're swiping in broad strokes here. We're
we are.
broad strokes. But for the most part, men are physical. We're going to fuck no matter what.
Yes.
You and Brooke can be throwing down all night long. She pulls her pants and says, fuck, you're going to be like, cool, boom, let's go. For the most part, men are physical, women are emotional. And you're not meeting their emotional needs.
Oh, God, you're absolutely right.
Then don't expect them to meet your physical needs.
That is the fairest. Write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down as well. That's in a nutshell, abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
If you're unavailable emotionally to a woman, you are rolling the dice of her pulling her butt apart for somebody.
Yeah.
And then you got to look yourself in the face and be like, you know what? I play too much fucking Call of Duty.
It's why some little piece of shit can come along with his stupid fucking lines. And all of a sudden, they're
buried in her butt cheeks.
And I'm like, that's what you fell for? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. You know, you're fucking right. It's absurd, but I think it's a testament to the lack of manly men left in the world. And so I cheers us, but I will never apologize for being what quote unquote a masculine. Now I got some fucking doucher traits. I like a good rom-com. Yeah. Goddamn. I eat ketchup with my steak. Yeah. There's all kind of things.
I'm the epitome of a douchebag. I'm the epitome of an asshole. So,
but I also know I'm not going to apologize for being a guy. Right. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for being born with a huge set of balls.
No.
So it's dump truck balls.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Now I have found out Flash, who's a Silvertownian, he lives here. Has the biggest dick in America. Mm-hmm. Little guy.
Wow.
Huge cock. So humongous. Thick and long. Little guy. It's surprising.
Good for him.
Sometimes you never know.
Is he in the Hall of Fame for that?
No, he's going to be.
Because of that.
Yeah, because he came up to me the other night. We were all doing driveway beers, and he walks up when we were all dispersing. Me and Brooke were ready to go to bed. He goes, hey, I'm ready. You might not want to look at your Nest doorbell. Pull my wiener out. And I'd heard the legend.
You heard the rumors
of him having a huge cock. He's got a big dick.
I like the fact that he has a big dick and knows it, and he's just pulling out the Ring doorbell all over town.
So I've spread that rumor because I've affirmed it. And when people are like, dude, here you got a huge cock, he's like, please stop talking about it. That's how you know it's big.
Right.
Because you tell me I got a bum, be like, you're damn right.
That's right.
It's humongous.
Right.
Thick and meaty.
Yes.
Humongous.
Right.
Biggest in the world.
Yes.
He's like, shh, please stop. This is embarrassing me. Because he's a little guy, huge monster to cock. Just had to say it. For Silvertown, we got the biggest dick in America, sons. Little bitty white guy. You never know. Huge cock. That never happens. I played football. A lot of black guys with some big old dicks.
Right.
Little bitty white guy. Good for him. You know, it happens.
He had nothing else going for him. He was short.
Huge cock, though.
Well, good. His wife is happy.
Very happy. She's awesome, too. But yes, big, huge cock. Flash, never show it to my wife. I'll kill you. That humongous big dick.
Apparently it's on the Ring doorbell video.
All right. So now it's time for us to do this will be our wrap up. Things that champions never do. You want me to go first?
Sure.
I think you went first last week. So I have the ability of, because I prep everything, I can do these in advance. Gary has not. He said we do not talk about.
And we talked the least about this one of ever. Ever. Because we've been so busy.
Absolutely. We just touched base, and I was like, you still doing the episode? And you're like, nah, bro, I've had too much shit going on. And I was like, all right, I got it.
I said, we'll just wing it.
Yeah, I was like, I got it. I can easily do it.
Randy is not going to wing it.
No, but it gives me the opportunity to sit on the shitter and think about my answer. But so my thing is, champions never stop evolving. Mm-hmm. All right? You never stop getting better. If you just accept being a champion, you're going to get bypassed pretty quickly, because there's a lot of information now, access to information. People can learn. They don't have to just go to college. And
right.
I personally think college is a waste of fucking money.
Me too.
Just me.
Unless
I don't want to say
going to college for something unless you want to do something in life that requires a degree. I'm glad Doc has been to chiropractor school.
Absolutely.
That you probably don't want to learn that on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't want to crack and breaking necks.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, off of YouTube.
Exactly.
Breaking backs, yeah, for sure. Or welders, like I'm all about trade schools.
Trade school is amazing.
I've been popping.
But I have a child right now who wants to be in business, and they're talking about going to school. I said, why are we going to spend money if you go to college to learn business?
Start one now.
I said,
let's
start one now. I'll show you how to. And I said, there's every business course you ever want on YouTube.
100%. I'm telling you what, I've got people are blown away when I tell them this. Some Crane's got his MBA.
Yes.
I've used dick of it.
Yes.
I don't even know what the fuck I learned in my MBA. it's worthless.
Yes. I have a doctorate in pastoral theology.
I can
What
hand
does
you
that
that
do me?
paper.
Right.
I can hand you my
I don't
little
even know
MBA.
where the paper's at.
Mine's on my wall at my office. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes you impressed or something.
I was married to Christine for 3 years. She unpacked a box one day. She's like, "What's this?"
You have a doctorate?
I said, "That's my doctorate." She's like, "What? How do I not know?" I said, "I don't know.
impressive, though.
I don't think about it."
A doctor's pretty fucking impressive. But
Can we start referring to me as, can this be Uncle Randy?
And Dr.
G?
Absolutely. It should be.
All right, boom.
Without a doubt. And I should put the MBA at the end of my signature.
Yes, you should from now
real
on.
douchers
Yes.
do. Which it kills me when I see guys put their little fucking horse shit on there. But so I'm saying my MBA means nothing.
Yes.
I'll tell you straight up.
So they never stop evolving.
Yes. I mean, you never stop learning, or you're never going to be a winner for long.
Yes.
You might be a one-trick pony that can win for a second. You're going to get past.
Yes.
If you don't continue to evolve, especially the way social media and access to information and political divisiveness and shit can change on a dime.
Right.
If you can't evolve and learn and grow, you're definitely not going to win for long nowadays. You're not just going to have a Sears and Roebuck anymore that sits there for 50 years and everybody orders their Christmas out of the catalog, till 1985.
Yes.
They got all the business. That's never going to happen now. There's
Right.
too many options. And I had a subset B also. My subset B is champions know how to view their mistakes. This gets more relevant as you get older, or it has for me, to where every time I fail, I'm like, good. Because I won't do that again. Like, I know that's what not to do. So I can scratch that off because I'm not, as you get older, you learn, okay, I screw the pooch here, that can't happen again.
Right.
You know, so you can actually mark those off as learning, which I've talked about. Winners don't say, why did that happen to me?
Right.
They say, how did it happen?
Right.
And fix it.
Yeah.
So those are Uncle Randy's what champions don't do.
Champions are not afraid. It goes along with what we talked about today, and I actually knew this was going to be my topic because I knew this is the only thing I knew would be asked today.
Yes.
Champions are not afraid to cut people out of their life.
Absolutely.
They're not afraid to walk away from people.
No.
If you're not bringing betterment to my life, I don't care if you've been in my life for 25 years, I can walk away from you and never think again. And I go back to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was able to walk away from the Patriots after all of those years. And did that mean he didn't love the Patriots? Of course he loved it. Does that mean he doesn't love New England? Of course he does. Does he love those fans? But he knew for the betterment of his career, they were no longer that. Yeah. And it was time to make the move. He didn't make it lightly, so I don't think we walk away lightly. So we make that very clear. But they're not afraid to walk away. I know people that are still in unfruitful relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, just unfruitful relationships. Sure. But I've known them 20 years. Well, I don't give a fuck if you've known them 20 years. If they're not bringing any value to your life now, then why are you wasting time with those people?
Well, so doesn't that kind of tie back to what I was saying? Like, we can kind of tie this into evolving, right? Because you got a lot of people right there like, this guy's done my T-shirts for 20 fucking years.
Right.
And sure, he's slow.
Yeah.
He's shitty. His prices are low, but he's done it for 20. I know him.
Yeah.
And they're not looking at these new guys, this new equipment that can do it faster, better.
Yeah. Sometimes you just simply outgrow people. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be a bad split. It doesn't have to be a falling out. I have people in my life. Matter of fact, recently, about 2 weeks ago, ran into someone that at one time in my life was super close with. We never had a falling out. We never had a verbal, hey man, we probably need to go our different.
Never talk shit about each other.
No.
Like
and to be honest with you, there's no issue between me and him. The issue simply was we were headed different directions in life and we went our separate ways. Mm-hmm. And when I ran to him in the store, I stood there for 30 minutes catching up with him. There was no hard feelings.
Sure.
But there was a day in my life where I didn't go a day without talking to this person.
Yeah.
I probably haven't talked to him in 5 years.
Wow.
Because
that's just nature's course,
just
though.
Different. For such a time as this, there's a time that he was fruitful to me and beneficial. And I go back to Paul in the New Testament. There's a time where Paul, he sends, oh man, I'm going to confuse this story. I think it's John Mark. Him and John Mark can't agree on things and he sends them away. And he says, go your way, I'm going my way, we're separate. Later on in the Bible, you see me said, bring John Mark to me. I can't remember if it was John Mark. It might have been someone else. But he said, bring him. He's beneficial to me. He knew he had a thing that he had to go do. And for that, he knew John Mark was beneficial.
Sure.
But he walked away from him earlier because he wasn't beneficial.
Yes.
And so it's okay to walk away from people.
I've always said,
I've never understood, and maybe it's because I don't have any, I've never understood lifelong friends simply for the sake of they've been around a lifelong.
Sure. That's absurd to me.
You know what I mean?
And
I'm not the same person I was 12 years ago. So why would the people in my life be the same people?
Oh, sure. They don't like the one. If they like the guy I was then they don't like the guy I am now.
I'm different.
There's no way they will. Not if that's their taste.
Yeah.
You know? Because I know how I was. Now, I want to give 2 shout-outs before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Number one.
Are we talking horsemen before we wrap up?
Oh, God, yes. But before I do that, I got to forget. So, with me and my wife, we were talking about our wives and how we're different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this is with you and Christine, but I want to know. So, if you do like with me and Brooke, I'm more of the idea man.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the idea, she finds a way to put it in motion.
Yes.
And I want that to be clear to people. Like, I am an idea man. I can be like, we should do this. This is great.
Yeah, I'm the visionary.
I don't know how to do it.
Yes.
And she'll get it done.
Yes.
And that's why we're a good relationship. But how
I don't even know how to make a T-shirt.
So is that similar for you
100%. I'm the visionary. And
she's the workhorse.
My wife, now every woman's not wired this way, so let me make that clear.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're wrong if they're not. My wife delights, she finds joy in making my dreams become a reality.
Which is awesome. That's a fantastic way to be a partner.
It's not a matter. Now, if my wife ever came to me and said, I have a vision for bam, 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 because she has supported me for so long over the years, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make her vision happen.
Absolutely.
But that's not her wiring.
Yeah.
Her wiring is, it's funny. My wife makes all the T-shirts. I don't even know how to make the T-shirts. But I'll post. Look at the T-shirts we made, or
Absolutely.
I made. Well, someone asked Christine the other day, they said, well, does it make you mad that Gary posted that like he did it? And she looked at him, she said, no. She said, I don't care. She said, he appreciates what I do. That's just the way he is. And she goes, I'm not mad about that. She goes, I love my husband. I thought it was cool. I wasn't there when she said that. But she was like, doesn't make me mad at all.
That's a great...
I don't need my ego stroked. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But so I do also want to give a shout out to this because I followed this closely. So you, Christine, and Bubba pulled a fucking rager recently.
Rager. 45 straight hours.
Was it that monotonous of just making
Yes,
T-shirts
over and over and over.
45 hours?
Yes.
That's heinous.
It was horrible.
And Bubba looked like he never blinked.
So here's the funny thing about Bubba.
Wide awake as
ever. Bubba is not a partner with me in the T-shirts. He doesn't get paid to do the T-shirts. I simply called him as my friend.
Because he loves you.
And said, I need an all-nighter. He didn't flinch. Champion. He even said, do you need me to come during the day? I said, no. I said, I'm not taking you away from what makes you money. Yes. I'll take you away from sleep.
Sure. Hey,
but I'm not taking you away from washing cars.
That's fantastic.
So I thought he would say, I'll
split it or something.
I'll do 1 or 2 cars. Yeah. I'll go home with the rest.
Sure.
No. He did cars all day till 6 o'clock. Was there by 6:30. Left at 9 the next morning. Went and did more cars. Then came and did T-shirts all the way up to the wrestling show where he could just be there to help me with the wrestling show, which I didn't need, but he wanted to be there just in case something went wrong and I needed help.
Yeah.
And here was the crazy thing. I don't think he ever got tired. I looked at him at 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, Bubba, now I'm the type of guy that can take a 30-minute nap and I'm good to go for another.
I can do a power nap. It helps.
For another 24 hours.
Yeah.
Bubba apparently can't. He said if he lays down one
he's done for the day.
He's done. So he said, I can't stop. He was just a machine, man. He was just a machine.
Dude, I was impressed. How many shirts did y'all do for that wildlife expo, dude?
We did 1,000 prints.
That's fucking nuts.
So 500 shirts front and back.
You just went from hand pressing these motherfuckers like 2 weeks ago.
All digital.
To now you got this. Did it catch fire though? Because like you how in the fuck did you go from How long would it take you to do 1,000 shirts at your old method?
Well, it would have been actually a little bit faster. The difference is we couldn't have done those detailed of shirts the old method.
Okay.
You had to have digital equipment. And if we had those 500 shirts to do again, we could probably cut our time by 30%. We learned a lot of shortcuts.
Of course you did. Sure.
That was literally basically one of the first orders we'd ever done. So we learned a lot of stuff where we were told to press shirts for 30 seconds, and we learned that you can press them for 5 and get the same result.
That's a huge time savings.
Huge, over 500 shirts.
Yes.
So we learned a lot of shortcuts during that. The
shirts were fucking awesome.
They turned out great.
By the way, did you hear a guy died?
Yes, I did.
Fire Marshal Bill went and hit him with the CPR.
I heard. That's what happens when Gary doesn't run events.
No, I thought the same thing.
I mean,
no,
I don't want to say it.
I don't want to be weird.
I mean,
no, but just so you know,
horrible.
we're on the same.
Horrible.
I know it is, and that we're kidding. But I did hear a gentleman literally
had a heart attack.
But here's the deal: they had 3 trained professionals. One, which was the King of Pops, who is an EMT.
Yes,
trained to the tits. He actually came and fixed my finger when I cut it off in no time. On the scene with that guy working on him within seconds.
Yes.
He had every opportunity.
Yes.
Like he was.
When it's your time, it's your time.
Yes. He if anyone's going to survive, he would have with the treatment he had because he had 3 people on him. They even hit him with the paddles and shit or the defibrillator thing. It was just his time.
Yes.
I believe that. But that's unfortunate. But Fire Marshal Bill told me like he had people on him.
Yes.
Like that.
It is. It's horrible.
All right, so let's talk about the Horseman. So people want to know about the Horseman. I think maybe even so more, no, I'm not going to say more, but on an equal level of a shirt for this podcast, we need a Horseman shirt.
We do.
Even if me and you just wear it,
right.
with a question mark.
Yes.
Like who is going to be?
Yes. And I think we narrowed it down. Correct me if I'm wrong. We decided there has to be a Canton Horseman. Because as much as we love John, John has his own empire in Woodstock.
He is the Woodstock.
He's the mayor.
He is Woodstock. When I think of Woodstock, if that guy, he knows about it. If something's going on in Woodstock, he knows. Yeah,
so there has to be the Canton Horseman. There can be a Woodstock version of the Horseman that John can put together.
Yes.
So by no means is that me saying John is not qualified to be a horseman.
Yes.
It's just simply saying at the end of the day, he's not Canton. We're 30114, 30115.
Yeah,
that's how we roll.
Yeah, and we're all growers of community. So he's growing his,
right,
which is a great community.
Yes.
I think fucking downtown Woodstock is killer.
It's the shit.
It is the blueprint,
yes,
in my opinion.
And me too.
If you want and I know we're getting there. Motherfucker, I'd follow that blueprint to the tits.
Right.
100%.
Right.
And nobody promotes Woodstock.
Yes.
Like the mayor.
He's the mayor.
I've never seen him say a bad word. He loves everybody.
He does.
And when I look at who's mutual friends,
yes,
the fucking mayor's a mutual friend.
Yes, always.
Everybody. It fucking blows my mind. So if we're doing Canton Horseman.
Right.
I am a big Doc guy. I love the fucking guy. All right. I think he's a great dude. He's smart. He fucking does good shit.
So Doc's come out of nowhere.
But
all right. Set that practice up. The only deciding factor for me on Doc is Doc's got to get to Canton. Mm-hmm. He's not living here yet. They are in the process of trying to relocate to Canton, but he works here.
I think that's fair.
But I don't know that living here has to be a criteria.
No.
So Doc is sleeper to me. Doc's the Tully Blanchard.
Yeah.
He's the television champion. He's going to compliment what's going on. He's always going to be there. And I have got really close with Doc. And
he's at everything.
I think very highly of Doc.
I do too.
So I am cool with him definitely being one of the top. We're not naming them tonight.
No, this is going to be ongoing.
So
this is a process.
Top nominee for sure.
He's in the finals, I think. If you put it narrow it down.
I don't think he's ready for this role yet, but I'm not anti King of Pops being a nominee. I don't think it's time to slide in there. He's not got the horseman swagger.
Yeah, I think what he's got is
but I love him.
He's got too many political aspirations.
Yes.
To where he couldn't flare out.
Yes.
Or Arn Anderson. He couldn't muscle anybody like Arn had, from time to time.
Right.
Arn had to smoke a motherfucker.
Right.
And he had to embarrass him.
Right.
And hurt him real bad.
Right.
And if I can't count on you to do that, I can't, you can be very close.
Yes.
But sometimes Arn got to be called in. Hey, Arn, you got a cheap shot a motherfucker.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about hit him with a chair. They don't even know.
I think that you have to Bubba has to be a nominee. I'm not sure that Bubba's quite ready yet. Bubba is
a good Arn,
he's loyal though.
Man, he loves dude, he is. If he's your friend, he's
your friend, man.
Friend,
and so I think he has to be. I see some changes in Bubba recently that makes me think he's a little more qualified. Yeah. Maybe the people need to send in some nominees.
Yeah, I got a couple of ideas. We got Tony here, who's lives here in Silvertown. He's saying they should arm wrestle for the last two positions.
Right.
Now, he says that because he rips men's arms off.
Right.
And he has a tendency in Silvertown functions to drink a little, and when he gets on the sauce, he wants to arm wrestle or fist fight.
Right. Oh.
And he'll rip your arm off.
Wow.
He's just one of those country strong.
Yes. Country, yes, I understand. Yes.
But he'll rip your
We've got a guy in our life named Big Country. We call him Big Country, and he's just about 6'4".
Yeah.
And his hand's about this big.
Of course.
And it's just country strong.
And so Tony, every time we drink, he's like, I'm grand, let's arm. I'm like, fuck no.
Right.
I don't want a labrum tear.
Right. See, I know. So I'll tell you another quality of a champion that people overlook. A true champion don't enter when he ain't got a chance to win.
Hell no.
Because we're champions.
Absolutely right. And we're not going to risk it all.
Right.
We're going to fucking play when we can win.
Right.
I'm not going to play where I'm going to lose. Right. Now, do I win at most? Yes, because I'm a champion.
Right.
But if we're doing some horse shit, if we're playing Jeopardy, sons, Uncle Randy's no good at Jeopardy.
Right.
I'm not going to go enter a fucking Jeopardy tournament.
No.
Fuck that. No. And I'm not going to arm wrestle, kick and wing. Yeah. No. It's a fucking disaster. We had to get together recently. He hurt 4 out of the 5 guys that he arm wrestled with. 1 tore their neck up. 1 tore their labrum up. Some guy hurt his lower back from arm wrestling, kick and wing.
Right.
So and he was asking, was like, no. He's like, you're a pussy. I'm like, you're right. I'm a pussy.
Right.
No.
And I'm good with that.
Not going to do it. I'm a great pussy.
I think that there has to be a J.J. Dillon. There has to be a manager type. Yes. So I think that automatically goes to Cope.
Oh, God, yes.
He's too old to be a horseman.
He is, but he's a great manager type.
He's Toby Keith. He's not as good as he once was. But he's as good once as he ever was. I saw that in action this last week in a situation I had to deal with.
He is.
And so...
He's as stern as he has to be.
Our honorary, our legendary member, our vetted member, non-active roster.
We agree 100%. This is a done deal. That one's, I think, is totally fair and justified. Now, we do need our other 2 guys. And I say, we leave that up to listeners. You can submit if people want to submit recommendations for one of the Canton Horsemen, send it in. We'll talk about it next show. So
Tony says he's usually the smallest guy there at Silvertown.
He's a small
guy.
Is
he smaller than Big Dick?
No. So, Big Dick's smaller.
Yeah. Way bigger. So Tony, you're lying right now.
He's not this. Yeah, Flash is smaller than Tony.
Okay.
But Tony is the short. Like he's on the small. I mean, he's.
I like how he says I'm 5'10". That's not that small.
No, but with like Fire Marshal Bill 6'1".
Yeah.
I'm 6'1". He's mid grade.
I think Fire Marshal Bill
Flash is taller than him.
Fire Marshal Bill, you always need because you always need the man in the politics, the guy that you call in the favors.
And there's a place for that.
He knows at the end of the day he answers to the horseman, but
he can't be directly involved with some horseman activities. Like he can't be linked to us chairing somebody outside of the arena.
He can't be putting a gun between someone's eyeballs like sometimes has to be done.
No, but when the shit hit, he's going to be at our get-together, and he's going to be weighing in and. Maybe we can grease him. I mean, that's the thing with Fire Marshal Bill. Though he is protecting. I mean,
so who's Brady Gilstrap?
That is
he just said he would take. He just said he would take Tony on at the next meetup.
That's gonna be a good one because Brady's young. He's only 26. We call him Tom Tom.
Okay,
all right. He's a Portia Native American.
Okay,
dark complected, good looking young man. Strong. Kids love him. Wrestle with him. But he's got a little violent streak.
Yeah, that's all right.
He takes to drinking. Him and Tony, very similar. They get violent, which is a young man thing.
Yeah, that is.
Like, when you're young, you get all piss and vinegar. Kick and Wing and Tom will get drunk, and you'll be like, you beat somebody's ass. This is scary. 26. Get it.
Yeah.
I'm 43,
yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm drunk, I'm going to bed.
I'm 45, and I'm kind of like, was at a Mexican restaurant one night, and these 2 guys started fighting. And I thought to myself, fuck, if they come over here, it's going to hurt.
Oh, bad.
Yeah,
I don't want to deal with it.
Like, if I have to hit them, I will. But
it's going to be I'm going to be a one-hitter quitter.
So I feel like right now, right now we have. Doc's come out of nowhere too, because Doc wasn't even part of Canton a year ago.
He really wasn't.
He's come that strong. Doc was on the thread the other day throwing down with the lady.
He drops truth bombs though.
To the lady started calling him Marty.
You know his history, right?
So yes,
he's done a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, very cool shit.
He's got a life. He's got a great story.
Yes,
that motherfucker served.
Yes,
been deployed.
Right, awesome.
And he'll break your back and fix it.
Yes,
and make your arms work again.
Yes.
He's worked on many of our mutual friends. I've still got to make an appointment with him. He says he can make Uncle Randy even better of a champion. I believe him. But everyone that I know that I've introduced him to, all they can say is that he's the nicest guy. Because he is very nice.
He's super nice
very
guy.
Pleasant.
But he's very opinionated, and I like that. Because I like the opinions because they line up with mine.
Sure.
So I'm a big fan of that.
I do want to give John, the mayor chimed in and said for Woodstock, Horseman would be him, Sean Daly, Warren Thompson, War the Destroyer, who is fighting for the belt in Lion Fight, I think next weekend, fighting for the 209 belt. He's cutting weight. Warren Thompson is a champion. I've had him on my show before. His story will blow your dick off. He fought in Ultimate Fighter. Got a power mullet now. He's a champion. That's
and I'm not going to lie to you. That's a Sean Daly. That's a strong horseman. So,
Sean Daly loves some Gary Lamb and Uncle Randy.
Yes, he does.
And I love some Sean. I've gotten to know
that is a strong.
It's very strong.
Strong. Bubba, David Booth can't be a horseman because David Booth is too powerful. So he runs Schottenkirk. He can't put a gun between a man's head.
He loses everything.
So he's got too much to lose. Love David Booth. Think highly of David Booth. Not horseman material. He's more top executive material. Again, you need those executives.
Investors.
You need executives as you're building your mafia.
You have to have it.
Right.
You got to have guys that can't be tied back to you.
Right.
But are definitely involved.
Behind the scenes, they're like, go get it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They'll tell you where to get
have plenty of texts from David that support that theory.
Yeah. No, he has to be doing well with the finances.
Yes.
Even, crap. Just the amount of fucking cars Big Mike sells.
Right.
How many cars does that guy sell? Every day there's 3 or 4.
I don't know.
So happy to sell. Dude, that guy, and I've got to go see him now.
Yeah.
He's getting me in trouble. He's sending me messages. He's got these cars. I tell him what I want. So guess what he does? Like a true salesman to Big Mike. Shout out. He sends a car twice my price range.
Yeah.
Because he knows my wife's going to take it.
So
she sees it, and she's like, that's the one.
So I've recently told you I've made some changes in my life.
Yes.
And so that's one of the changes I have made in my life. So we'll move on from that subject.
Well, very nice.
So.
Well, that's good, helpful information to know, sir.
So.
Because the last thing that I got, which was a few weeks ago, I got that $70,000 truck sent to me, and I was like, that is nowhere near.
Yeah. So I've made some changes in my life on who I recommend for cars.
Well, that's good, bro.
And
that happens.
Sometimes business relationships just don't work out for everyone involved.
Oh, hey. That's good intel. That's what friends have to share that, so we'll know. Now, Doodoo Allen, who's our newest Hall of Famer, right here. Doodoo ate Fire Marshal Bill's contact lens the other night at one of our get-togethers. Okay. Fire Marshal Bill took it out, and he just ate it and swallowed it. Doodoo is our local septic tank guy.
Yeah, you told me that.
Septic tank truck. He makes so much cash, it's not even funny.
Yes.
Dude, that industry.
It's insane.
That's what I tell people, too. Like, learn a trade.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, somebody's got to do it.
I've got a buddy that owns a Porta-John company and kills it.
Jesus.
Porta-Johns.
They got to have them.
Kills it.
They got to have them you got to have them for events and shit.
I'll have 10 of them from next week.
Horrible. God, those things really freak me out. I hate taking a deucer in one of those at the blue water.
Alan just pointed out the Duck. The Duck is my new go-to at Schottenkirk, and that's who I would suggest you hit up if you're looking for a car.
Okay. I don't know who that is,
well,
but that's good.
He's the Duck.
All right. Well, good to know. Thank you, brothers.
Dude,
I got double recommendations.
So.
Dude, Doodoo knows. I love some Doodoo. Doodoo is a guy. I need to have him on the show one day to tell his story.
Yeah. I think you shared a little bit of it with me.
His story, blow your dick. So that's for another day. We'll talk about that another day. So I guess to wrap it up, we're going to say, Horseman, still up for debate?
Still up for debate right now. I would say Bubba and
I like Bubba's.
Doc are in the running head. But we're in no hurry. You don't.
Who do y'all recommend?
Yeah, perfection takes time.
Yeah, because I mean, once it's formed, now the Horsemen did evolve.
They did
over
evolve.
time.
People were replaced. Because again, Oldie got old and they had to replace him with Lex. But then the problem is they became a mockery. They had Mongo in there, everybody.
But Ric Flair, those sons, we still all agree.
Yeah.
Now there's a little controversy with Ric Flair
about eating coochie. You seen that?
Maybe there's a dick pic out. Listen, if Ric Flair's still putting out any kind of
it wasn't
sexual
a dick
info,
pic. It was. Have you seen the pic?
Oral sex, right? Some kind of oral sex.
Just going to town on some lady on a.
You know what? Hey, jet flying.
I thought I had it.
Jet flying, kiss stealing.
73, still buried,
barely alive,
right between the legs, going to town.
Dude, he's got a limousine a mile long. He's been stabbed, beat up by everybody.
Plane crash, walked away from it.
And people they tell me that shit out because I tell them Ric Flair's one of my heroes, and they're like, oh, but what about this? I was like, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do that's going to make me not love Ric Flair. Because what he's done.
He's pained me a little bit as he's got older, but he's still Flair.
Sure.
He's like Space Mountain. Oldest ride, longest line.
He's earned enough equity with me to where I get it. You know? You're going to be a little crazy after living the life he's lived. All right, well, let's sign off here. We will be back again in a month. We will get this one up, and we will be 3 deep, and we will have a feed for this show. Thank you for downloading. Those that didn't get to tune in, we love the live people that watch live and shoot the shit with us, but you folks that download it, thank you for downloading. We appreciate you. You can find us on social media. I'm Uncle Randy on Facebook.
That's right. Gary Lamb on everything.
Gary Lamb, by the way, last thing, my buddy, I told you, Po Boys podcast from Arkansas wants us to come on his show. Jody B is the host. He listened to the first episode. He messaged me directly and was like, Gary Lamb's quickly becoming one of my favorite people.
Well,
you guys are cut from a very similar cloth. He is in the Podunks of Arkansas, champion podcaster, though. His shit is legit. If we can find the time, we can sit here and just stream with him together and do his show. So, y'all going to be seeing a lot of that shit. And folks that want us to come live, we'll talk to you soon, and we'll see if we can make that happen. But
and I'll say this before we close. I think that this episode right here is an example of champions. Was it our best? Probably the 3 the weakest. But you know what? Still better than anything anybody else is putting out. You know why? 100%. Because you've been busy. Football. I've been dealing with some shit. We still got on here. We got on the mics. We pulled out shit. We threw down stuff that should have been written down that will make people better
100%
if they apply it to their lives.
Absolutely. I do. Bubba's already just written it down. He said, Cope leader, Gary 1, Unc 2, Doc 3, Bubba 4.
Boom.
I mean, I'm not saying that sounds bad to me. I do want to get the input of everybody.
Bubba's good for the Horseman because you need a thug.
He's an enforcer.
You're kind of the enforcer. Bubba is the guy that will sneak up on them and just go to hug them and slip the shiv right in their side.
And Bubba's the one that
he's the one that will break the kneecap. He's the one that you're like, throw this pipe bomb through the window.
Sure.
Hell yeah, give it to me. Boom, let's go.
He's also a guy that if I'm sitting, like if me and him are sitting talking to a group and somebody says, man, I can't stand that Gary Lamb.
Yes. Bubba's going to put a stop to it
He's not just going to let that go like the weird silence.
No.
He's going to be like, what the fuck did you say?
Right. So you
hate
loyalty's huge.
Oh, you hate Gary Lamb?
Right.
Well, then you hate me, bitch.
Right. He's 100% that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Bubba's had that conversation with his wife, actually.
That's fucking hilarious. All right, Tony Burris wants an arm wrestling contest. All right, we'll write all that down. I'm never doing it, and I don't think you're going to get Gary to do an arm wrestling contest. We got shit going on, sons. We got shit we got to do. All right, we'll talk to you all later. We'll see you next month, and we'll holler at you then. Gary Lamb, Uncle Randy.
Talk to you later.
Later.